And for everybody that has already joined us on TikTok, it is so good to see you all. As I was just going over right before we started the stream over on TikTok, today we are streaming on the go. We are streaming out of an Airbnb in the middle of Boulder, Colorado, and I'm really happy that this is seeming to work. Put a lot of time and attention and resources into making sure that it does work. So big thumbs up. But anyways, folks, if you haven't been here before, let me describe to you what we do. We debate Trump supporters. We try to change their mind with facts, reason, and logic. And in the process, okay, exploring knowledge and truth nukes that if you're watching from home, you could actually turn around and hopefully, use on your MAGA friends or your MAGA family members to attempt to change their mind as well. Now, quickly, before we hop into the debates, I like to try to do this every day. We have some breaking news to go over. Now, this news broke quite literally 30 minutes before we even started the stream. Sorry for everyone on YouTube. The echo should be gone now. We just had a little bit of an echo on YouTube. Hopefully it's fixed now. It should be good. My bad, you guys. Streaming setup on the go. We're figuring it out. But anyways, let me just go ahead and repeat that. We have some breaking news to hop into. So not even 30 minutes before we started the stream today, a judge in Rhode Island ruled that the Trump administration has to use contingency funds from Congress to continue to fund food stamp benefits for the 41 million Americans that are losing access to them during November. Now, if this judge's ruling stands, right, then you will be getting food stamps during November. And what's crazy to me, right, is that America wins when Trump loses, all right? Because when his administration was asked last week what they're going to do about this national crisis of 41 million people losing access to their food stamp benefits since the Department of Agriculture ran out of funding because of the government shutdown, they said that there's nothing they're going to do. They're not going to allow contingency and or emergency funding to cover the benefits. They're not going to give a promise to the states to reimburse them once the shutdown is over. They're just going to let people starve, all right? And then after this was their response, after they had an option to continue to fund food stamp benefits, to continue to keep 41 million Americans safe and healthy, right? After that all, and not including the shutdown that they caused, they then turned around, violated the Hatch Act, went on the USDA website and posted a headline saying that the Democrats are at fault for you starving. The Democrats are the reason why if you are one of those 41 million Americans, you're not going to have access to food stamp benefits. But guess what? Judge McConnell, I believe is his name, is shutting that shit down. If his ruling stands, food stamp benefits will continue. Now, we are going to go ahead and hop into the debates. Just keep that in mind. That's the headline of the day. America wins when Trump loses. So if you are watching this stream and you are a Trump supporter, what I want you to do if you're over on TikTok is hop in that queue, and I would love to have you up here. Let's go ahead and try to get that very first guest up of the day right now. By the way, I have two laptops in front of me, one for the streams, one for the chats. I have a phone for the day. It's just, it's a whole lot. So you might see me getting a little bit sidetracked today just because we're still trying to figure out this on-the-go streaming solution. But I think everything should work. But let's go and get that very first Trump supporter up of the day. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be over on TikTok, and I'll happily load you up into the stream. Just make sure that you are here and you are ready to debate why you support Trump. Let's go to get that very first guest, Cade, loaded up of the day. We got them loading in right now. We're going to go ahead and give Cade a second here to load in. It doesn't look like Cade is loading in. We're going to go to kick Cade, guys. Only hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. We got Mr. Jonathan loading up in next. And by the way, just once again for everybody, happy Halloween, guys. Happy Halloween. Hope you're going to have a good day. All right, we got that next guest loading in right now. Here we go. All right, it also doesn't look like this next guest is loading in. Folks, if you're hopping inside of that queue, just make sure that you're here, you're present, and you're ready to go, and you're ready to have some debates about why you support Trump as president. I would really, really appreciate that, because we are just looking for some conversations. In fact, I hope the very first conversation of the day can be about the fact that the Trump administration lost and has caused America to win. Welcome in, America. Do you support Trump? Oh, I guess not. They left. We already have runners, and we're less than, 3 minutes into the stream. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. By the way, if you're one of the 3,000 people hanging out with us over on TikTok, just folks, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, sharing out this live. It would really help because we are on that backup account. We're on that alt account, which is making it hard to be able to like find Trump supporters to get up and debate. So if you guys could tap on that phone screen, spam that comment section, share out that live, repost it too, then we'll be able to land on the For You page with significantly more people and hopefully have these conversations. Now, let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. We got Zach Loves Jesus connecting. Doesn't look like Zach is connecting. We'll also go ahead and load up Vint. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, folks. We got Vint loading up in. All right. Doesn't look like Vint. Dude, I'm trying to load people up right now, guys, and they're just simply not connecting. I don't know what's going on. We got Ozzy Boy loading up in. Literally no one is connecting. Is it your connection, maybe? I think that it might be my connection. I think that it might be my connection here because just no one is loading in. Ruh-roh. But I mean, the connection is like good enough to stream to YouTube, stream to TikTok, but it's not good enough to like load anybody in the box. That is a very, very weird glitch. All right, we're going to try again with our very next guest, folks. So just do give me a second here. All right. We're going to try to get Maria loaded up in. Seems glitched. Yeah, it does seem glitched, which is odd. For everyone tuning in, once again, good to see you all. Happy Halloween. Hope you're doing well. We're trying to get our very first guest in of the day. Okay, according to somebody that just tried to join, they had an unstable connection? Okay. All right, if this doesn't work, you think it's... Okay, you guys think it's glitching? Okay, it might be glitching. If it is glitching, then I know what to do. I just might have to, like, restart. Not the TikTok stream, just the TikTok live studio. All right, that's what we're going to do now. For everybody on YouTube, you're going to stay with us. I apologize for the technical inconveniences. We're trying to run a show here. We're trying to do some debates here. And it looks like TikTok Studio is fucking with us. For the 3.5 thousand people hanging out with us on TikTok Studio, here's what I'm going to do. We're just going to restart the TikTok Studio application, right? So just stay there. My face is going to freeze for like 20 seconds. Then I'm all of a sudden going to be back. Just ignore that. All right, I'm going to be right back, folks. If you're on YouTube, I'm not going anywhere. For those on TikTok, I just need to force close the TikTok application and then restart it. Then hopefully this weird glitch that we are experiencing with the guests will be over. All right, folks on TikTok, hang in there. Don't leave when I freeze. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Bada boom, bada boom. Folks, quite frankly, look at that, everybody. Look at that. We're already back. All right. Let's see if that fixed the glitch, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and load up another guest. Let's see. Will this work, folks? We got Tyler connecting. Okay, Tyler dropped out. It looks like it is working now. I don't know. We'll give it another try here. My mic volume is kind of low. I bet I could turn that up. See, we're still figuring all this out on the go. It's still not loading the guests in, bro. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, look at that. Is it better now? Is it better now over on TikTok? I just turned up the mic by like 200%. I just turned it up by like 200%. All right, we're going to try to maybe load somebody in from like the computer. Bro, why is it not loading any guests in, dude? Brother, what is going on? It's not loading any guests in. Oh boy. I think maybe we got to try out a restart over on TikTok. Like we got to restart the whole stream. Maybe that's what we got to do. Unfortunately. Okay. For everyone on YouTube, see, these are the problems that we deal with on TikTok. Very unfortunate. We're just trying to do some debates. For everybody on TikTok, we got to restart this stream because TikTok is fucking with us, okay? All right, this is their Halloween scare, all right, by not allowing me to talk to Trump supporters to try to change their mind. For everybody on TikTok, for the 4.1 thousand of you guys, hit that follow button if you haven't already. That's how you're going to come back after the restart. If you want to be able to come back quicker, click on my account, click through to my profile page, count to 10, refresh the account page, then click back into the live through the red live glowing orb around the profile picture. We got to restart, unfortunately. TikTok's not letting us load guests up. That's what we're going to do now. I'll be right back, folks. See you in 10 seconds. We have massive breaking news. A judge from Rhode Island just issued an order telling the Trump administration that they have to use funds from Congress to fund food stamps during November. And this is fantastic. If you don't know, on November 1st, the Department of Agriculture is going to run out of money, and 41 million Americans will not have access to their SNAP benefits. Now, the Trump administration's response to this was to say, we're not going to allocate emergency funding to the benefits, and then they went and they blamed it on the Democrats. And this was a political move by Trump that told us he values owning the libs more than he values caring for the safety, health, and well-being of 40 million Americans. And Judge McConnell from Rhode Island shut that down. If his ruling stands, then you will be getting SNAP benefits in November. It's absolutely insane that a court had to literally order the president to care for the well-being of American citizens, but that's Trump's America. I'll keep you updated as we learn more, and I'll make sure to keep you in the loop if the ruling stands. I think this is it for us. No. It might be. We might be cooked, guys. We might be cooked. All this effort for nothing. Yo, Soul! Thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube. Sorry, not YouTube. On Super Chat? No, not Super Chat. Venmo. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you for the $50, Soul. That is so incredibly kind of you. That is SOL. Soul, the $50 says, you've actually helped me strengthen my own views and debating style. I've been frying MAGA without getting nearly as mad as I usually do. Keep cooking, chef. Oh, yeah. So, well, these streams will teach you a level of patience that you never thought you had, all right? The guests that we get up are just insane. So fucking crazy. Thank you so much for the $50, Soul. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the love. We got to show some massive love to SOL for the $50 down below in that comment section. Thank you so much, Soul. All right, folks. We are going to try to load people up again. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, we could only, like, try to do so many things in order to get debates going. Guys, go ahead and let me know if you are a Trump supporter down below in that comment section. For everybody saying it's the Wi-Fi, I don't think it's the Wi-Fi. You know, the Wi-Fi is fine. I mean, the Wi-Fi is good enough to stream to TikTok. The Wi-Fi is good enough to stream to YouTube. But apparently, like, you know, I just don't really see an issue. I just don't see an issue with, like, the Wi-Fi insofar as why it wouldn't allow me to load guests up. But, I mean, we could continue to try. Maybe, how about this? Maybe I have an idea. I have an idea. What if I tried to load up myself on, like, an alt account of mine into the box and just, like, see what happens, you know? I think that might be a good idea. Just to try to diagnose this, to see what's going on. Okay. I'm gonna try to do that. I have a backup account. I'm gonna go ahead and get that backup account in the queue. Okay, then I'm gonna try to load it up. Let's just see what happens. Oh, weird. Okay. So here's the issue. On my laptop, it's saying that the guest is never loading in. On my phone that I just loaded in from, it's like, it shows that I'm loaded in. It just doesn't reflect that on the laptop. That's weird. That's really weird. What could possibly be causing that? Oh, man. Oh, wow. I'm disheartened. I'm really disheartened. Restart laptop? Yeah. Yeah. Boy. I want to be able to figure this out. Real bad. Let's see here. Let me run a speed test on the laptop. See if, like, there's any, like, bottleneck with the Wi-Fi. I just don't think that there is. Let's try it out. Speed test. Run speed test. Dude, speed's fine. I'm getting 170 megabytes per second download. And then let's see what the upload speed is here. Yeah, the upload speed is like 40 megabytes per second. That is more than enough. That is more than enough to be able to run a good stream. No clue in the world who this is. but I almost want to accept it just to see if like it'll work. Let's just see if like this works. Hello? Okay, so this definitely is working. I can see him. I can't hear him. So it looks like the co-host feature is working. No audio. No audio from him. Yo, you take care. You take care. Okay, so if the co-host feature is working, then why's the audio? Oh, you know what? I might have an idea. Let's see here. Just sign out and go back in. Yeah, I might have to just end the live, sign out, then sign back in. Might just have to do that. This sucks. Test? Okay. Let me try to load somebody up. Jonathan McLean. Update? I mean, I just installed the application last night. All right. Yeah, folks over on YouTube, I might end the YouTube stream here soon. I might end the YouTube stream here soon, and then just focus on figuring this out. And then once we get it figured out, I'll just restart the YouTube live. Okay. All right, folks. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why this isn't working. I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I did. By the way, for the people over on YouTube, you're saying that there's some artifacts. It's actually not an artifact. That is the fan blocking the light. I should probably turn that fan off because it is creating some a weird look. Just gotta talk to the chat for a second. Try it after ending the YouTube stream. Restart laptop. I want to see. Restart. Yeah, I might have to just... So, okay, here's my game plan. Here's my game plan, chat. I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube stream. We're going to try to focus on solving the problem on TikTok. Then once we can get it solved, restart the YouTube stream. That's what I want to do. And I will see you all very soon over on YouTube. Bye-bye. Okay. All right. Now that we are just on TikTok, let me first see if I can load somebody up in. Now that the YouTube stream is ended. We'll try this out. And then if I can't, try going live off your phone. Yeah, the phone would inevitably work if I need it to, but it's just not loading people up. Oh boy. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm going to delete and re-download TikTok Studio, and then I'll be back and we'll see if that works. See you guys. Sucks. Hello! Welcome back into the stream, everybody. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, for everybody tuning back in on TikTok. So good to see you again. All right, so we just completely restarted the computer. And if this doesn't work, then we are going to restart the Wi-Fi, the computer, and uninstall and reinstall TikTok Studio. If none of those things work, I'm going to say bye and then see you guys when I'm back in Colorado, or back in my hometown of Colorado on the 2nd. All right, so I really hope that this works, everybody. For the first 400 people tuned back into the stream, super duper good to see you, y'all. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, sharing out that live. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. Let's see if we finally got it to work. Oh, hello.
Hey, you hear me?
Are you? I've never been more happy to hear a fetus, but get the fuck out of the stream because you're breaking the rules. But we got it! We got it! Let's fucking go. All right. Let's go. We got it, baby. Hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah down below in that comment section right now? Quite fucking frankly. LFG, okay? I was having some type of driver issue. I was definitely having some type of driver issue. That is a big fucking W. All right, folks. We just now need to go and start the stream over on YouTube. Unfortunately, big time unfortunate. We gotta do a bit here. I gotta like load up that I gotta do a lot because we gotta like retitle it. We gotta get that description again. In fact, why don't I just go ahead and start working on this while we get like our first debate underway? So go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. I'm just gonna go ahead and start our first debate like while I'm multitasking, like setting up the stream on YouTube again. So let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. We got Abby connecting to the stream, y'all. Just make sure if you happen to be inside of that queue, you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. We'll get you loaded in. We'll have a conversation. It'll be great. What's up, Abby? Are you MAGA? All right. Yeah, I was definitely having some type of driver issue, folks. I was having some type of driver issue. We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up in here. What's
Dean,
up?
why did you?
Why? How old are you?
Do you abuse your fucking wife, bitch? You ugly ass misogynist.
I don't have a wife.
Tashika mogs you, bitch.
I don't have a wife. The person that called for the death and genocide of all queer white people mogs me. The person that called.
Does.
Do you agree with her? Do you think that all queer white people should die?
Fuck every single white person like you.
Okay,
you
so
bitch
I'm asking you a very specific question. Do you agree with Tashika? Do you think all queer white people should die?
She never said that, you
She did.
liar.
She did. She said it on Discord in an announcement.
That's a lie.
This wasn't something that she
That's
hid.
cap.
This wasn't something that she hid from anybody. She said this in an announcement. You could go read the announcement in her own announcement channel on Discord, or you could see a screenshot of it on Reddit.
That's the lie.
It's not a lie. You could go see it. Why are you denying your own perceptions?
It is a lie.
Yeah, of course. All right, we're gonna go and kick them. No, it's funny. It's absolutely hilarious that people are just so willing to deny their own perceptions. Okay, you could go see it in the announcement channel on our own Discord or in Reddit. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and kick them out. Moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. What's up? Are you MAGA?
I'm gonna Charlie Kirk your eye, nigga.
Okay.
I'll kill you.
And I don't like your parents. They have been doing a terrible job. That guy was like 11. Super sad to hear. Hey, what's up?
Y'all
People
shut
Trump?
your ass, boy. You a bitch. I'll slap the shit.
Okay, another person whose parents really failed them. Why is it becoming a trend to like call for my death? Dude, what the hell? Moving on to the next guest. Here we go. What's up? Are you MAGA?
I ship you and Charlie Kirk so much.
Okay, guys. Okay? If I hear the word Kirk again, I'm gonna like explode or something. I don't know. Let's stick to the debates. We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up in here right now. Whose children are these? By the way, the use of the word explode there probably not the best. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. How old are you?
29.
29. All right. I'm going to go and pass you the mic. You take it away. Tell us why you support Trump. And while I'm debating you, I'm actually going to be multitasking and setting up the stream for YouTube. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I support Trump because I don't like capitalism, and I think Donald Trump will implode capitalism in general.
He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire from capitalism. He's a billionaire from the exploitation of the working class. How can you say that you don't like capitalism, therefore you're going to support the most pro-corporate, anti-labor force president, billionaire, by the way, that we've had in modern American history?
Because, like I said, he will implode everything.
So, with all due respect, this is like saying that you don't like racism, therefore you're going to join the KKK.
No, here, I'll give you my logic. So FDR said if we don't give people all of these benefits and make their lives easier, we're going to have like a revolt. So if you make people's lives
you
bad as possible,
basically just think that, it's going to cause like a revolt against the system and lead to anarchy.
Yes.
So you think that all the harm that he's causing is ultimately for the greater good?
Yes.
Okay, so you think that causing 60 pregnant victims of rape per day to be denied access to abortion in 10 over 50 states is ultimately serving a purpose for the greater good?
If you allow a fascist to do this, then people will turn to socialism. So
you're basically pro-fascism in some scenarios.
No.
Oh wait, so you're always anti-fascist?
Yeah.
So you're against Trump's fascism?
I'm for Trump imploding the system.
Can we agree that Trump's a fascist?
I wouldn't call him no.
So wait, but
He's a dictatorial capitalist. That's kind of different.
are you always against dictatorial capitalism?
No, because I want
Wait,
people
if you're not
to
always
exper-
against,
I want
if you're not
people to
always against,
experience-
listen, if you're not always against dictatorial capitalism, then you're a capitalist.
I think the word is like accelerationist. I don't think that I'm pro.
Okay, so basically, but I mean, I think that the big issue, like with your argument, regardless, is you're basically saying that the harm in which he is causing is like justified because you think it's going to lead to some greater outcome of other goods, right? But like, I just don't think that an action is ever justified, especially like a human rights violation, regardless of the outcome that it leads to. Right? I would say that we need to avoid like denying victims of rape access to abortion, like at all costs. Like we need to avoid torturing, beating, and starving immigrants, like at all costs. Like we need to avoid, right, reducing the purchasing power of half of this country and then redistributing it to the wealthiest among us, like at all costs. Like we need to avoid, right, cutting food stamps off for like 41 million American families at all costs. Now you're saying that not only do we not need to avoid these things, but we need to embrace these things, right, at the cost of the harm caused, so we could like accelerate some type of revolution, right? Can we?
Well, it's not like I voted for him. I'm just passively seeing that this is going to cause a
Would you vote for him? Would you vote for him?
No.
Okay, so you want to
Not
vote for him,
actively
so then you
involved.
don't support him. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest right now, folks. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. Everybody, do just kind of give us a second to get them loaded up. We are just about ready to start the live stream over on YouTube. We're just getting everything set up over there. We're like doing the debates while I'm
Hello?
setting this up. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 20,
Okay. What year were you born in?
2005,
And what time is it?
329
And do you support Trump?
PM. Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Not really like him as a person per se, but like some of the stuff he's done, I would say like I definitely don't support him as a person, but like some of the stuff he has been doing, I mean, yeah, some of it's not been good. I will say that.
Hey, I have a question. Are you patient?
What?
Are you patient guy?
Patient? Like I'm chill, yeah.
You are? All right. Do you mind if I?
I'm not gonna get heated. Like I want
do you mind if I just have you demonstrate that patience for us while we start the stream on YouTube and we give a quick intro?
Sure, yeah.
I
don't give a fuck.
I appreciate that. Sorry, man. We're just like doing about a billion things at once. We finally got the stream working, and now we just need to restart the stream over on YouTube. We're gonna go to create the broadcast and start streaming now. Just hang out with us for a second. This may be a minute or so.
Take your time.
Hello and welcome into this stream for everybody joining us on YouTube and for those that have already joined us on TikTok. It is so good to have you in here with us for the day. Now, today's a little bit special because we're on the go. We're streaming from Boulder, Colorado in the middle of an Airbnb. We already tried to do this once. We had some technical complications, but we are back now and we are good to go. Now, before we hop into the debates, I want to discuss one bit of breaking news with you all, which is the fact that America is finally winning because Trump is losing. What does that mean? Not even an hour ago, news broke that a judge out of Rhode Island is now ordering the Trump administration to continue to fund food stamp benefits through November during the government shutdown, right? In response to the Trump administration, right, first causing the government shutdown, which then caused the Department of Agriculture to run out of funding, which then caused the food stamps of 41 million Americans to be cut off on November 1st. And in response to this, the Trump administration said that they will not allow any emergency funding to keep those benefits running to look after the health, well-being, and safety of 41 million Americans, nor will they make a pledge or a promise to states that if they fund the benefits until the shutdown is over, that the Department of Agriculture and the Trump administration will reimburse them afterwards. Now, this judge in Rhode Island took issue with that. He said that's illegal. He said that the Trump administration must continue to fund those benefits. fucking G. Love this guy. And he ordered the Trump administration to do exactly that. If the ruling stands, then the food stamp benefits of 41 million Americans will not be cut off on November 1st. But that's the big question. Will the ruling stand? We know that the Trump administration has a track record of ignoring rulings that are fair and square. We know that the Trump administration has a track record of issuing injunctions and appeals to anything and everything in which is ruled against them in a court of law. We know that the Trump administration does not trust the criminal justice system, and he thinks whenever there's a ruling that disadvantages himself, it's corrupt and it's made by fake Democrats, evil Democrats, right? So we'll have to see how this ruling plays out. I really hope it stands, because I hope that 41 million Americans will not start to starve on November 1st. But of course, that is something that Trump is actively working against, and that fact is so incredibly dystopian, all right? We're having a court have to order that the president cares about us. We're having a court have to order that the president cares about American citizens. We're having a court have to order that the president cares about the well-being and safety of men, women, and children that are reliant on SNAP to eat dinner, to eat lunch, to eat breakfast. But that's the breaking news for now. Happy Halloween, folks. We already have our very first Trump supporter loaded into the stream. We got Jonathan up here before we even started the YouTube stream. Jonathan, once again, I appreciate you for your patience, man. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, no problem.
So you told us that you support Trump as president. Honestly, I feel like here's a great first question for you. All right, so you just heard everything I went over, talking about the government shutdown, talking about SNAP benefits, talking about the Trump administration's unwillingness to comply and continue to fund those benefits, and now we have a court order him to do so. What are your thoughts on that? How can you still support Trump, given the fact that he caused this shutdown, right, which is now causing people to lose their SNAP benefits, and then he turned around and he said that he values owning the libs over keeping mouths fed, right? Because in his failure to fund SNAP benefits, he was then able to turn around, go to the USDA website, and put a picture up that says the Democrats are causing you to run out of food stamps, even though that's not true at all.
Well, what I would say, like, I'm not really big on the media, but what I took out of that, like, whole, like, government shutdown thing was, I don't really watch the media. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't really go deep into this. Like, but what I will say is, I believe the government shutdown happened for one reason, and like one reason only. Then I'll go into the food stamps after. But first, I'm going to go into the government shutdown, if that's okay with you.
I just want you to respond to what I said, sir. And if you don't think that you will be able to, I'm just going to move on to my next guest, right? But we're here to have conversations about support Trump. You requested up. You told us that you're MAGA. You told us that you're 20 years old. You told us that you want to have a dialogue. I want to have that dialogue with you, too. I just want to ensure that in order for us to have that dialogue, that we're going to need to be able to respond to what we say. And right now, you cannot respond to what I said surrounding the government shutdown, surrounding the food stamps, and surrounding the Trump administration's inability slash attitude directed towards funding those food stamps, saying, no, we're not going to do it, then having a judge rule that they have to do it. Like, if I had to sum it up into like 10 words, why do you still support
Just
Trump?
sum it up into 10 words.
Okay, and sum it up into 10 words. Why do you still support Why do you still support Trump as president, given the fact that we have to have courts order Trump to care about American citizens?
Good question. Well, the main reason, like, I supported Trump, like, especially this term, because I saw how good he did in 2016 for 2020.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't president in 2016, but could you just respond to what I said, please? I'm going to give you around another minute before I kick you.
Because I feel like he has more traditional values.
Okay, what values?
Like, wants to bring the country more together and not, like, separated like it's been for a while.
Yeah, that would imply that he cares about the country and cares about American citizens. Didn't we just go over how a court had to order him to care about citizens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but the food stamps thing is like, yes, there's a lot of families that need it, but you also got to consider, like, the people that just manipulate that.
I don't even know what you're saying. People, I think you mean to say, like, defraud food stamps? Okay. you understand that A, not everybody that's on food stamps defrauds the benefits. B, the fraud levels associated with the EBT are like incredibly fucking low. C, I don't even think you know what that fraud level is, nor what it looks like. And then D, this sounds like a really half-ass weak attempt to basically say that you don't care that 41 million American citizens, including children, are going to be losing access to food stamp benefits. Therefore, you don't care that Donald Trump doesn't either.
I mean, whatever, man. But it was a good debate. Mad respect.
All right, he's bowing up. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. We will happily get you loaded up into the box right now, folks, if you do want to come up and have a conversation. Savannah, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, who says, watching the live while I hopefully finish my baby's Halloween costume. Wish me luck, and thank you for providing my favorite content. Dude, shout out to you, and shout out to your baby, Savannah. I hope that you guys have a awesome Halloween. Happy Halloween, folks. I know that I sure am. Today's stream is going to be shorter because me and my girlfriend have some plans later for Halloween. By the way, I went to a little house party of one of my friends last night, and I met so many of you guys. So many people came up and said hi. I just want to let y'all know that you guys are fucking cool. All right. We have a community here with some very cool people within it. So shout out to y'all. But let's go and get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box right now. Only hop in that queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. We got River Henry loading up into the box, folks. Just please make sure that you are at least 18 years old or 18 years of age or older. Welcome in. Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. How old are you, River?
I'm 19.
And what year are you born in?
2006.
All right, man. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us how the hell you still support Trump as president, considering the fact that now we're having courts have to order that he care about American citizens.
All right. First of all, what's up, dude? I see you all the time, and even though I don't agree with you, you're a cool guy, and I've watched you and Charlie Kirk debate all the time, and it was sick. So just want to go ahead and say what's up. But the first thing I want to talk about was I just joined actually, and the last thing I heard you say was that Trump doesn't care about the food stamps and all the stuff all the food stamps that are going to be taken away from all the people. But I think it's also, like a bipartisan issue for both sides to not agree. I think it's a problem that both sides aren't agreeing on a solution to reopen the funding for the government. But I don't think that's just a him thing. I think that the Democratic people that are voting to keep the government shut down because we're not giving the money to the stuff they want the money to go to, I don't think that's just a him problem.
Okay, so why don't the Democrats want to pass the Republicans' funding bill?
I'm pretty sure, as what I've seen, that it cuts costs to a few ideas that they support.
What ideas? What ideas? What ideas?
Can I go off this thing?
You can go to Google. If you don't know, I'll just tell you, okay? Right? The reason why the Democrats will not vote for the Republican spending bill is because the Republican spending bill rolls back some of the credits offered under the Affordable Care Act passed by Obama. And if those credits are rolled back and not funded by the Republicans in Congress, then Medicaid premiums are expected to go up by 75% for 56 million low-income Americans, okay? Right? You like the data on this is insane. So an average elderly couple, okay, living in Maine, making $130,000 per year household income, a household of four, I believe, not an elderly couple. Their premiums are expected to go up by $16,000 per year if the Republicans get what they want with a funding bill. So I do not blame the Democrats in Congress for refusing to vote for a bad bill that hurts Americans. Okay, like I need you to understand that the increase in premiums that will be onset by the Republican CR funding bill, if it passes, will destroy families, will ruin lives, and you can't deny that based upon the data that we have and the projections that are set forth. It is imminent and it is insane. And also, by the way, right, Trump's culpability as it relates to food stamps isn't really too related to the shutdown. Because although the reason why food stamps are going unfunded by the Department of Agriculture is because the government is shut down, right, the real issue with Trump is that he is refusing to allot any emergency funding to keep the benefits running, and he is refusing to give a promise to states that if they cover the bill until the shutdown is over, that they will then be reimbursed. All right? And that's the big issue. That's the big issue right there. Okay, regardless of who is at fault for the shutdown, which, by the way, it's the Republicans, right? Donald Trump still has an obligation to tend for the needs of the American people, and he's actively refusing to do so, right? And it is now taking a court in Rhode Island to force him to do so, if that ruling even stands.
All right, I got you. Wait. Can you just reiterate really fast why you think it's the Republicans' fault that the government shut down?
Yeah, because the Republicans control the White House, the Republicans control the Senate, the Republicans control the House, and the Republicans control the Supreme Court. Okay, right? I mean, shit, you could even go to the GOP Twitter account, go back to 2023, and say, well, because the Democrats control the White House, Senate, and House of Representatives, that if the government shuts down, it's their fault. According to Donald Trump's own logic, he's at fault for it, right? Because he said that the president is ultimately to blame for a shutdown, while Obama was president, and according to the GOP's own logic, they're at fault for the shutdown, considering the fact that they tweeted out 3 years ago, right, that if the Democrats control the White House, the House, the Senate, so on and so forth, that they would be at fault if the government were to shut down.
Yeah, but just because we have majority power doesn't mean we can just do whatever we want. It takes votes from both sides.
It takes 60 votes within the Senate. Right?
Yeah,
but
60
even
total.
there,
Was it like 53 Republicans and like 3 Democrats, and then there's a few.
Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that the Republicans' funding bill wants to roll back ACA credits, thereby increasing ACA premiums by 75%?
I have no idea.
It's the Republicans' fault because it's their spending bill.
All right, I got you.
Sorry if I got a little bit loud there.
No, it's all right.
I'm very passionate about this. You know, like
I'm not gonna lie to you right now. I don't talk about food stamps like that. I don't know anything about food stamps.
Yeah, well, they keep 41 million Americans healthy. They keep 41
This
million
chat is kind of
Americans
funny. This chat's funny. You have a funny chat. I like them.
Why is that?
No, like they're like talking a lot, and they're fun. Like they're fun, not like a rude. Like I'll be dead ass.
Yeah, just ignore the chat. Just talk to me. So why do you support Trump as president? Oh, by the way, for everybody in the chat spamming mods, right? They're spamming that because there's a bunch of Trump supporters. There's a bunch of Trump supporters in the chat saying that they want to grape me. Okay, look at that. Look, I want y'all to look at that. I want y'all to realize that I'm coming on here, right? I'm discussing facts. We're talking about politics. We're trying to have critical conversations surrounding the governance of this country, and the response from MAGA is saying that they want to grape me. Okay, we've had 3 people come up today and say that they want to assassinate me. And then we now see Republicans in the chat saying that they want to rape me. Okay, so if you ever ask your question, where does most political violence come from? Look no further than the guests that join my live and the people that spam my chat. Go ahead, River. Let's just start from square one. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
All right, that was just I don't know what that chat stuff was about. All right, well I got another kind of like a question that it'll relate. So coincidentally, I go to Ole Miss. So I was here 2 days ago for the J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk rally type deal that was going on. Did you watch it?
I didn't. I've been traveling.
Okay, so a lot of the questions were related to immigration and a lot of stuff like that. So the reason I support Trump mostly is because he wants to close the borders, and I think that's really beneficial. I think that having a bunch of people that aren't documented here is going to threaten national security, whether or not they should be here or not. I'm not saying immigration is a bad thing. I'm saying that people that are undocumented here committing a lot of crimes, it's bad to have people from foreign countries that don't believe in the Constitution and things that we believe in, such as women having rights that we have, like, you know, everyone being equal in civil rights and all that type of stuff. People don't believe that. A lot of people don't believe that overseas, and I think a lot of them being here undocumented is not good for the country.
Okay, so first and foremost, people come to America because they believe in the freedoms of America. People come to America because they think that they'll have a higher quality of life given the governance and the Constitution.
See, you would think that, but they still bring over their ideology of what they've grown up with.
One moment. And just what you're saying is not true at all. Like, for instance, you went on talking about, like, you know, a discrepancy in women's rights, so on and so forth. You're most likely referencing Sharia law, okay? So immigrants coming from countries that have Sharia law imposed, right, are coming to America to literally escape Sharia law, okay? The goal of the GOP, especially with the rise of Mamdani in New York City, has been to attempt to convince you, right, that all Muslims love Sharia law, want a unilateral, let's see here, what do they call it? Unilateral. Islamic theocracy, there we go, and the imposition of Sharia law, when that's just not simply true at all, right? And the Muslim immigrants that we see coming from countries that have Sharia law imposed are coming here to escape it, right? But I want to ask you a very interesting question, because you said that we shouldn't even have someone in the country if they don't believe in the Constitution. So then how can you possibly support Trump as president, considering the fact that, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You said that you support deporting immigrants because you don't think that they believe in the Constitution, right?
I think generally a lot of them don't. Like a lot of the people that commit crimes, that are documented crimes.
Right,
people
right. So you're saying if an undocumented immigrant doesn't believe in the Constitution, deport them from the country, right? But if an American citizen like Trump doesn't believe in the Constitution, says he wants to terminate all rules, regulations, and articles found within it, December of 2022, tries to coup the outcome of a presidential election, like he did with his fake electorates plot in 2020, or infringes on the 1st, 2nd, 10th, 14th, and 22nd Amendment in the last 8 months, make him president. Make that make sense. I think that is so totally hypocritical. The largest threat to the Constitution in this country today is the president that doesn't even know if he has to hold to it, per his own word of mouth to the ABC News reporter that sat down with him on his 100th day in office during his second term.
I have never seen that where he says he wants to terminate stuff from the Constitution. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, go look it up. Go look it up. He posted this on Truth Social in December of 2022. He said that the 2020 election was stolen from him, and because it was stolen from him, this would allow for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found within the Constitution. You could fact check me. That is a fact.
You think the election was stolen from him in 2020?
No one with a brain thinks that, because there's no evidence to indicate that it's true. In fact, the 2020 election is the most audited election in American history.
Votes from people that have been dead for 15 years.
Okay, so go ahead and show me, right, any evidence that we had 4 million dead people vote to be able to account for the difference between the amount of votes that Biden got and the amount of votes that Trump got. That's nothing more than a talking point.
He wanted to terminate stuff from the Constitution. What do you mean to look up?
Yeah, I mean, you could either look up and find any evidence that there's widespread voter fraud within 2020, which you won't be able to find any evidence of, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about
people couldn't. Or you could look up his post on Truth Social, where he said that it is the case that because he thinks the election was stolen from him, that would allow for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found within the Constitution.
I'm just trying to find where you quoted him talking about how he doesn't not have to abide by the Constitution, but you said that he wants to terminate certain things in the Constitution.
Yeah, you could find that one by going to Google, type in Trump calls for termination of Constitution, Truth Social, then going to images. Yeah. Hey, while he's looking that up super duper quickly, thank you so much, Nick, for the 70 Canadian dollars over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Nick. Nick with the 70 Canadian dollars says, viewer from Canada here, listening to all this at work. I love your vids. It gives me hope for our American neighbors down south. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you so much for the love, Nick. That is so unbelievably kind of you. Thank you so much for the kind message and the 70 Canadian dollars. Show some love to Nick down below in that comment section, everybody. Thank you so much for your kindness, as well as Budget Cardboard. Thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat, who says, hey man, I didn't think I was going to be able to listen to you today. How's Boulder? Boulder's great. I'm loving it out here. I get to see all my old friends. Even a handful of them flew in. Just thank you. Thank you so much for the love, Budget, for the $20. That is incredibly kind of you. As well as Brooklyn. Thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Brooklyn. And Emily, thank you for the $15 on PayPal, who says, hey Dean, can I get a happy birthday? I'm 20 today. Happy birthday, Emily. Fuck yeah. Happy 20th birthday. I think that's awesome. Show some love to Budget, show some love to Brooklyn, show some love to Emily, as well as Kenneth with the $10 saying, happy Halloween, Dean. Happy Halloween, Kenneth. Thank you for the $10. And then Denise, thank you for the $5. Happy birthday to you as well. And then Campbell, thank you so much for the $1 over on Venmo. We are all caught up. If you do want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pin message of the YouTube stream. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love, and happy Halloween once again. So while this guest, Mr. River, is, I guess, looking things up, doing his research, we're going to go ahead and get a second Trump supporter loaded up in here, and we'll do a 2v1. Unless you're done with the research, because I see that you're back.
Well, I was still able to talk, but it was just talking about how he called for the termination of provisions, which, I mean, kind of to dive into that, I don't know what he was necessarily generally talking about. I mean, I get he thinks there was voter fraud, he was stolen from him. But I don't know.
So my statement, he called for the termination of quote-unquote all rules
to be terminated.
So he called for the termination of quote-unquote all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. I'm directly quoting his post on Truth Social.
So what are you trying to say? That he want to a termination of the complete Constitution?
Well, I mean, if that's your takeaway from the quote,
or a re-election. I'm asking. I'm asking, is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's what you said. You said this would allow for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles.
Yeah. So I guess we don't know. So we about to do a 2v1.
What does all mean?
No, I'm asking.
All means everything.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, is that what you mean? Are you saying that he meant that you think he meant?
That's what he
all?
said, River. That's what he said.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense for the president to call for the termination of the Constitution. I agree, that doesn't make any sense. It's kind of why I come on live and host these debates every day.
Yeah, when I searched it up, it said that it was a termination to account for a re-election, which I don't know what that would do.
It was a termination to account for like his re-election, because he said if we terminate the civic and electoral guidelines detailed within the Constitution, then he could just steal the election. Right? He was just like calling for the prop up of a dictatorship, right? And by the way, he's also like materially infringed on the Constitution in the last 8 months too, right? He launched an attack on the First Amendment by saying it's illegal to criticize him in the media. "Quote unquote, I'm taking your free speech away," in reference to his attempted ban on the burning of the American flag, even though SCOTUS ruled that's constitutionally protected in the 80s. Right? He launched an attack on the Second Amendment when he told his DOJ to find a way to ban any and all gun ownership for any and all law-abiding trans American citizens. That was so blatantly anti-2A that even the far-right NRA spoke out against him for that. He launched anti-2A, Second Amendment.
Anti-2A?
No, 2A. Second Amendment, 2A. Right. He 2A. Also infringed on the 14th Amendment when he signed Executive Order number 14160 into law on his first day in office that attempted to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil, even though they've had that right guaranteed unto them by the 14th Amendment since 1868.
Someone just said, "River, we have reserves for it if the government shuts down, yet he won't use them." Now that's crazy.
No, River, you're debating me. You're not debating people in the chat. Please respond to what I just said.
All right, I just thought it was a good point. I don't know.
Could you respond to what I just said?
Yeah, but I don't get what that reserves to 2A means. I don't understand.
You don't understand what 2A is? The Second Amendment of the American Constitution.
I understand, but you saying that he just randomly said that people to revoke the 2A to the Second Amendment?
He directed his Justice Department to find a way to ban any and all gun ownership for trans people.
Trans people.
Right. And that's a violation of their Second Amendment rights. About a month and a half ago.
Was that a tweet?
No, that was a public directive and a sit down from the Oval Office in the media. It's nothing that's hidden. Look it up. I mean, once again.
All right. I'm sorry, I just have to fast check because a lot of this stuff just seems kind of
You're good. Wild. Like I said, it is wild, right? Because Donald Trump is a wild wannabe dictator.
Okay. I'll agree with you that he's wild. I don't believe he's a dictator, though.
Well, he definitely wants to be one, or else he wouldn't say that it's illegal to criticize him in the media. He definitely wants to be one, or else he wouldn't try to circumvent the power vested in Congress to change the Constitution, or the power vested in SCOTUS to interpret the Constitution by signing an EO into law to try to change it himself, consolidating power to one man compared to 500. And yeah, River's gone. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest because he couldn't handle the heat. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up in the box. We got Max joining right now, folks. All right, everyone. He gone. Andrew, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal, man. Dude, show some love to Andrew down below in that chat for the big 50. Thank you so much for the kindness, dude. Holy shit. Let me, Andrew didn't even attach a message, just literally donated the love. Andrew, man, that is so fucking kind of you. Show some love to Andrew down below. What's up, Max? How old are you?
17.
Yeah, you gotta be at least 18 to be on live. Chat, let's seriously get 500 Andrew W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love, Andrew. Huge shout out to Andrew down below. Thank you. Huge shout out to Andrew. What is up, Karen? Do you support Trump? Karen? You got 5 seconds?
Charlie Kirk, you bitch. I'm gonna Charlie Kirk you right, nigga.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go ahead and try to find somebody to debate that doesn't want to execute me. Let's see here. Kitty, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Appreciate you so much for that love, Kitty. Show some love to Kitty down below in that chat, folks. I want to see 500 Kitty W's. Thank you so much for the $50. Dude, thank you so much. Huge shout out to Kitty down below. Thank you, Kitty. Kitty with a $50 says, let's go ahead and just read it here. Kitty with a $50 says, First Amendment done right. Thank you so much, Kitty. Show some love to Kitty down below. As well as Elizabeth, thank you with the $5 who says, I'm learning so much right now. Keep it up. Thank you, Elizabeth. B Nacho with the $5. Thank you so much, B Nacho. Zoe, thank you so much for the $5. Then Campbell, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. And as well as Campbell, I appreciate you so much for calling that out. I'll have to change the YouTube title. Thank you so much. Show some love to all of our donors. And then Jackie, thank you so much for the $10 as well on Venmo, who says, when not debating, what are your favorite hobbies? I gotta say, like playing music, like piano and guitar are pretty big to me. Very important. Thank you so much for the $10. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Loki? Loki, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer. I just heard you whisper, oh God, under your breath. Doesn't look like Loki is here. Guys, go ahead and put a me with your age down below in the comment section if you do want to come up and have a conversation with me about why you support Trump. We're going to move on to the next guest, Mary, right now. Also, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, shouting out this live with a handful of friends, and happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. What's up? Do you support Trump? Mary? All right, Mary's not here. Moving on to the next guest. Oh boy, oh boy. We got Reggie loading up into the box. Here we go, folks. Oh, and we got Matt loading up. Just looking for that next debate, quite frankly. Hello. Do you support Trump?
Bro, Jeff Nippert mugs you, bro.
All right. Are you MAGA?
No.
All right. We're just looking for people that are. Take care. Moving on to Diego. Here we go, folks. Just looking for some debates. It looks like MAGA is going extinct. It is very hard to find Trump supporters. They don't want to debate me. We've literally had more people like say that they want to execute me than we've had people say that they want to debate me. Wow. I mean, that really tells you a lot about MAGA. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
19. What year were you born in?
2006.
2006. Awesome. And do you support Trump, Diego?
Yes.
Okay. Could you please disconnect any like Bluetooth mic that you have connected to your phone?
Bro, I'm in the gym, bro. Wait, hold on. My bad.
Bro, you're in the gym? Do you just want to come back later? Come on.
Bro, hold on, bro. I'll beat the shit out of you, bro. You're soft, bro.
All right, Diego.
Yeah.
So why do you support Trump?
Because he's so tall and sexy, like you.
I thought you just called me soft and you said that you'd beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, you're soft.
Okay. All right. Boy, what is going on with the guest today? I don't know. Hey, Chandler, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. Thank you, Chandler. Let's show some love to Chandler down below in that comment section. Chandler with the $25 says, thank you, Dean, for putting up with the frustrations that come with caring enough about Americans. Thank you for the love, Chandler. And you know what? Every American patriot is very frustrated with the state of America today in the Trump administration. I mean, just look at the people who support him, man. Like, this is terrible. I mean, I think that, the quiet part of these lives that speaks louder than me is, just an observation of the nature of the people that come up on this live saying that they support Trump. All right? It really tells you a lot about this president and what his supporters are like. Mark, what's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Age, please?
18.
Don't believe you. Take care. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Sorry, I just don't believe him. Don't believe him at all. Do not believe him at all, quite frankly. All right. Moving on to the next guest here. Let's see. By the way, if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pin message on the YouTube stream. But yeah, let's go to get that next guest. Jake McFunk loaded up into the box right now. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah. Do you suck dick with your butt cheeks?
I do not. How old are you? Okay, I guess we'll never learn how old he is. He hit the road. Moving on to the next guest. All right, he ran away from the debate. Hello, do you support Trump, Jim?
Yeah.
Hello, Jim. Are you MAGA? Okay, Jim, you got 5 seconds before you're banned. And Jim is banned. Bye, Jim. Moving on to the next guest. It would have been funny if I said something like, oh, great question. I do not. Fuck, I missed that opportunity. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Hello, can you hear me?
Very, very, very muffled. But are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, can you unmuffle your mic, please?
Is that better?
No, you have something covering it. Disconnect any Bluetooth devices. Take out any headphones, headsets,
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
external mics. I'm gonna.
How about you shut the fuck up, bitch?
Leo, you don't sound tough through speaking through a fucking microwave from the 80s, okay? He left on his own. Dude, what is going on today? Bro, dude, this is rough, okay? This is so telling for America. Every single person that comes up. Okay, listen, I'm going to say it, chat. I'm going to say it. I think I've won. I think I've beat MAGA. I think I've convinced every Trump supporter, like on TikTok at this point, that I'm smarter than them. Okay, like there's no other explanation for this. Every single guest just comes up here. They're like, "Yeah, I want to like kill you or something." Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Okay, shut the hell up. Come up here and debate me. Come up here and debate me like a real adult. Okay, stop being a little fucking beta. Stop acting like a child. All right, like, dude, shut the hell up. Come up here and debate me or sit the fuck down. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I didn't. I vote for him. So, but I regret it now.
You regret it now? Bro,
No.
base. That's awesome. I'm really happy that you regret it, man. Good fucking for you, dude. We are just looking for people that don't regret it. That's why the question is, how do you still support Trump? And now, if that is you, if that is not you. So somebody in the YouTube chat is spamming, I'm not MAGA, but holy ego, in response to me saying that, like, I think I've convinced every Trump supporter on the app that I'm smarter than them. Listen, I understand that, like usually, like, when you say that you're smarter than, like, a large demographic, right, it can portray an ego. I get where you're coming from, but the thing is it doesn't take a lot to be smarter than a Trump supporter. All right? You're probably smarter, too. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Nah, but all you motherfuckers telling him to kill himself, you're a bunch of bitches.
So fucking real. On God. But we're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get Austin loaded up into the stream. Here we go. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, and how old are you, Austin?
March 15, 2006, 19.
Okay, all right, Austin. Let me thank a couple people. Matthew, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Who says day 9 and
Let's go, Matthew! Keep going.
Okay, it's okay, Austin. I got this. But thank you. I mean, I like your energy. Hell yeah, W Matthew. As well as Cassidy. Thank you for the $10.
Let's go, Cassidy!
You could hold that off, you know. But
my
once
fault,
again,
my
good
fault.
energy. But you know,
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Cassidy with the $10 says, "Halloween drink on me. Love your content always." Thank you, Cassidy. Thank you so much. I will happily take you up on that. I think as soon as we end the stream here, I am going to go grab one of those Halloween drinks. Thank you so much, Cassidy. You are awesome. As well as Gabrielle. Thank you for the $1 over.
Let's go, Gabrielle!
Yeah, okay. Listen, go ahead and take it away, Austin.
All right, bro. I'm just hyped, bro. I'm just hyped.
I get it.
Great.
I get it. One last one here. Thank you so much, Classy Kyle, for the $20 over at Super Chat.
What was it again?
Classy Kyle?
Classy Kyle. Let's go, Classy Kyle!
Oh, and Mary with the $10 on Venmo.
Mary, let's go!
Thank you, Kyle and Mary. Shout out to Mary and Kyle!
Let's go, Mary!
Yeah! Woo! You're getting me pumped up, dude. Hell
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying, bro.
Let's go. Okay.
Great day.
All right, but then I remember that you're MAGA. Then I get brought back down to earth. Take it away, Austin. Tell us why you support Trump.
Well, I just want to start off with a question first, too, though. Perfect time, right? Actually, I see you try to do the hand whistle a lot, and I never hear it in the mic.
Oh, it's not a whistle. It's because my hands are cold. I'm just blowing warm air in them.
Well, it kind of looks like the hand whistle form. I was going to tell you, I have a buddy who's actually really good at that.
Nice. So why do you support Trump, Austin?
I actually voted for Brent Peterson.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because his anxiety pins.
It all makes sense now. Well, at least he didn't vote for Trump. We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go. Hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA. We'll get you loaded up. What's going on, Kate? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
34.
Okay. Can you disconnect in a Bluetooth mic that you have connected to your phone?
I just wanted to say to all the people that are telling you, I'm on the right, and all the people telling you to, unalive. That time a couple of months ago where it hailed in the city that you're known to live, you're able to go on a weather app where the hail cells were and get a pretty good idea of where you live. So should keep details like that to yourself, or be more careful with them. We don't want another BB.
Well, I appreciate. Thank you, I guess. So, do you want to tell us why you support Trump?
Venezuela blowing up the boats.
So killing people.
Hell yeah, killing people.
It's a little bit ironic considering the last thing you just said.
They're narco terrorists. You're just
listen,
a beta boy, so it's...
Okay, now you're calling me beta. You know what? Listen, at least I respect you a little bit more for being like, hey, you don't deserve to die, but I still think you're beta, compared to like both at once. But, anyways, that aside, talking about, the boats in the ocean, I disagree with the Trump administration bombing them and killing people. Because reason number one, we have the ability to head down there and arrest them, give them due process, determine that they're guilty of the crimes that we're accusing them of, and then throw them in jail if they are. Right? Because I'm anti-death penalty and I'm pro-due process. And doesn't that make significantly more sense than just kind of bombing them and killing them without due process and then parading that around like something that is awesome?
No, because the Coast Guard has been doing that and accepting them for a long time, and they just get sent back to their country of origin. And whatever happens to them. There needs to be a better deterrent.
Well, listen. Well,
and no one's
I'm going to say this.
No one's
I would
fishermen,
significantly rather, right, like intercept them, arrest them, and bring them to America to prosecute them, right, than like killing them, right? So if you're saying that you think that killing them is preferable, right, to like sending them back to their country of origin, can't we like maybe try to meet in the middle here and say instead of killing them, let's bring them back to America and prosecute them through the criminal justice system?
No, we should blow them up.
Why?
They're killing Americans.
So why do you want to kill them compared to throw them in jail? Right? Why do you want to kill them without due process compared to convicting them in a court of law?
Some people deserve to die, Dean. I don't think you're one of them.
Okay, so some people deserve to die. But then if you're a rapist and you are a sexual abuser of little girls and you've admitted to it on Howard Stern's radio show, you deserve to be president?
Well, according to the plurality of Americans, yes.
Okay, so if rape, then president. If sell DRUGS, then death. Don't you find that to be a little bit hypocritical?
They're killing Americans, and you guys have already, and you can tell that you guys are losing that argument because no one is saying that they're just fishermen anymore.
Well, could you just please respond to like the point of hypocrisy that I just pointed out? If rape, then president, right? If sexually exploit naked little girls, then president. If sell DRUGS, then death.
Yes.
Okay, so you just agreed
that's what's happening, right?
So you just agreed that you want to make a rapist and a sexually exploited little girl's president. Why?
Because he's better than Kamala.
Okay, all right. So you're saying the rapist that has sexually exploited little girls is better than Kamala Harris. So what has Kamala Harris done that is worse than raping a woman and sexually exploiting little girls?
Been born, exist.
Okay, so why is a black woman existing worse than a white man raping?
Dean, I want to point something out. You have a woman has never come on your live and had a good debate with you. Not one time. Not a single time has it been entertaining or insightful or anything. Not a single time has a woman come up and debated you and done very well. Whether you still win at the end or you lose or whatever, it's a wash, not once. They always get blown out.
Sure, with all due respect, there's not many MAGA debaters on the app. The largest MAGA debater on the app is a woman. Okay, like obviously, I think that people that support Trump are wrong, and I think that people that support Trump, right, don't have any reason for that to be the case. But I mean, from your perspective, right, you have to contend with the fact that the largest MAGA debater on your side operating on TikTok is a woman. Her name's Millie. The only outspoken Trump supporter that hosts lives on a day-by-day basis debating liberals is a woman, right? So take that misogynistic bullshit and throw it straight out that window.
Well, Dean, I want to say something about the Democrats.
Right, and you're saying, and you're saying none of the guests that have joined my life and been super outspoken and been good at debating have been women. I just disputed that, proved it's false. I guess none of the really terrible people throughout history that have started massive wars, committed genocide, so on and so forth, have been women. For the most part. I mean,
why
maybe there's one or two out there. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to do my research. But off the top of my head, when I'm thinking about mass atrocities in human history, I'm looking at Hitler. He's a man. Mussolini. He's a man. Andrew Jackson. Trail of Tears. Man. Colonializers of North America. The genocide of 100 million indigenous individuals. Men. God. So how do you contend with that? Genghis Khan, man. I mean, shit. We could keep going. Joseph Stalin.
Well, the type of people, the kind of people that voted for Kamala are the type of people who, despite clear instructions on your screen to only join if you're 18, if you're an American, and if you supported Trump, yet over 50% of the people that you bring up like you. They want your attention, despite your clear instructions. They don't listen to instructions. They're very low IQ, and they just don't care about rules.
Don't
or
listen
any
to
sort
instructions.
Of sense
Don't
of order.
care about rules or order. Donald Trump is a 34-count felon
or else
that's
they wouldn't-
infringed on the 10th
or else
Amendment
they
to
wouldn't join-
militarize American cities. He's also been held civilly liable
Or else they
for
wouldn't
rape of a
join your
woman.
life.
He's infringed on the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 22nd Amendment. I'd say it's significantly worse to infringe on the Constitution than it would be to infringe on Dean's rules for his TikTok live stream.
And then to go and add upon my first point, why do so many underage girls come on your live and scream that they love you? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I could definitely agree. I don't like it when underage girls come up here and scream that they love me. I could agree. I could agree on that. I could definitely agree. But I have a question. Why is the first thought that comes to your head underage girls?
Because I watch your live and so many underage girls always
you know what I mean?
scream
Are
that
you
they love
RC?
you.
Are you RC?
You're like, what energy do you put out there?
I have a question.
What
Am I talking to
energy
RC right
do you
now?
put out there that a girl?
Wait. No. Stop talking. Are you RC? Is this RC?
No, I don't know what that is.
You don't know who RC is?
No.
You sound just like
I just think it's
him.
weird.
And
like,
you're
what
saying,
kind of
you're saying
energy?
the same things that
what kind of energy do you put out there?
You're saying the same things that RC says too. Let me ask you this question. I want to go back to your misogynistic comments about women. Do you think men are better at leading than women?
Yeah.
Could you give an argument for that?
There's no recorded history of any society that have been prolific and controlled by women, and the reason for that is because they all extincted themselves before. Because any society, there has been societies ruled by women, but they've all extinguished themselves because they were so bad.
Yeah, I didn't know that Egypt doesn't exist anymore. I didn't know that Egypt was just extinguished. Shit.
The empire.
I didn't know that the UK was extinguished. I didn't know that Germany was extinguished. I didn't know that India was extinguished. They currently have a female president.
They're not.
I didn't know that Mexico was extinguished. Yeah, I didn't know that any of these Iceland was extinguished. Anyways. So, I mean, apart from that statement being factually incorrect, let's evaluate the reasons for why you think it is. What are the relevant differences between men and women that make men better at leading?
Strength and power, and let's see, what else?
Strength and power?
Rationality.
Okay.
Rationality.
Okay, we'll start off with strength. Do you mean physical strength?
Yeah, look at what's her face? Lisa Thompson, whatever her name is. Leah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start with physical strength. All right. So I agree that men are physically stronger on average compared to women, but I disagree that physical strength bears any relevance nor indicator of ability to lead. Are you driving?
No, I'm driving a golf cart. I'm not driving an automobile. Why won't you address the fact that so many underage girls?
Wait. Did you just say that a golf cart's not an automobile?
It's not an automobile. No, you don't need a license to drive one.
God, I don't need a license to drive my truck on private property. Does that mean that when I have my truck on private property, it's not an automobile? Dude tries to say that men are more rational than women, then says that a golf cart's not an automobile. All right. We're going to get that next guest loaded up into the box, folks. I was about to cook his ass, but unfortunately he is driving. We can't have that on TikTok Live. Yo, Paula, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Paula. Paula with the $50 says, Dean, I'm so proud of you, and I'm also worried about you because these Trumpers are not just stupid, they are violent and scary. They can't debate intellectually, so they attack you. Please be safe and happy Halloween. Listen, man, I understand, Paula. It's a risk that I accept by doing what I do. And I can agree that the Trump supporters have been getting increasingly more and more violent recently, but I think what that tells me is that they've been getting increasingly more and more desperate. right? They're finally realizing that there's just a difference between us and them, and that difference is a denial of reality and acceptance of reality. So they're getting desperate and they're lashing out. Thank you so much for the $50, Paula. Let's get 500 Paula W's, as well as let's get another 100 budget W's for the $10 over on YouTube. Thank you so much, Budget. That is so incredibly kind of you. As well as Pot, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much, Pot. Soul, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. You said, bro said, fuck Catherine the Great, and obviously great female leader. Use Google, you illiterate fuck. Appreciate you for the $20 Soul. Show some love to Soul. As well as Shannon, thank you for the $20, who says, I found you a couple months ago and adore your lives. I ignorantly made a reference to your mom being proud of you. I want to apologize. After learning more about your family dynamics, I'm sure that was hurtful. Shannon, that wasn't hurtful at all. You know, even with like the public information about my family dynamics, my mom is still proud of me. Both of my parents are, which like I'm grateful for. Do I understand it? No. Am I grateful for it? Yes. Thank you for the $20, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon. As well as Corey, thank you for the $10 as well. Saying I don't like Trump. Base, Corey. And then Angelina, thank you so much for the $13 on PayPal. Who says, hey, Dean, a longtime Canadian fan here. Just wanted to say that we love you and keep doing what you do. Thank you so much, Angelina. And then Yatsia, thank you for the 10 saying you give me hope. Thank you so much, Yatsia. And then Abigail with the 5. Appreciate you guys so much for the love. And then 2 more here. Thank you so much, Sadie, for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. And I'm really sorry to hear that. I just read your message. I'm going to keep that one to myself. Sadie, I'm so fucking sorry to hear that. Thank you for the $20. And I hope that, you know, like, I just hope that doesn't happen. Thank you for the $20, Sadie. Rodney, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Go ahead and take it away and tell us why.
Man, you know, I just like the way he handles business, you know, especially in the free market, you know, doing how we live in America. And, you know, it's a free market, stuff like that.
Okay, so you like free markets?
Indeed, yes, that's correct.
So then you don't like his tariffs since they're a restriction on the
No,
free
I
market.
do. No, I do like that. I like how he imposed it economically because that's how you drive revenue within your nation, right?
Are tariffs a restriction on the free market?
It's a restricting on another nation's free market, not our free market, sir.
No, it is a restriction on our market because it's restricting what can come in or go out of that market.
Not necessarily. Yeah. If we all know the tariff is just
it's a barrier to
correct.
trade.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Right. A barrier to trade in the American marketplace is a restriction on the American marketplace. It's basic economics.
Is it still free market though? Right. So now I have a question. Correct. So, and again, my claim was I like how he handles the free market. So I just have a question for you. Have you ever had food stamps?
I asked you. Yes, I have. I asked you, right, if you support restrictions on the market, and you said no, right? And then you said that you support the tariffs. That's a contradiction.
Wait, I never said I don't. I believe I never said that I don't like that. I said I like the.
So I just want to clarify. Let's just clarify then. Yeah. Do you support restrictions on the free market?
I guess so. Yes.
Okay. Well, first point's dead in the water. Go ahead. What's your next point?
Okay. Yeah. So my next point was have you ever had food stamps or government health care, something like that?
Yes.
Have you? Which one?
Both.
Okay. Now, do you think Luigi's a bad guy?
We're not here to talk about Luigi Mangione. We're here to talk about why you support Trump.
Oh, well, I mean, because it was a segue, but I support him again because of his free market and the way he handles business. I already mentioned that.
The way that he handles business. So you're talking about his economic policy? Like which ones?
Correct.
So which economic policies?
Tariffs.
Okay, and why do you support his tariffs?
Because it drives revenue within our country. Okay. For example, right now.
Where does that revenue come from?
For example, right now, Dean, you have a camera, you're a content creator, there's other content creators. So if cameras are being made in another nation, it would make sense to impose a tariff to help and drive production made within our domestic economy, correct, Dean?
Okay, so you're saying that you support tariffs to drive more revenue to the government, and you support tariffs to drive more manufacturing to America. To dispute the first reason, I understand that the tariffs generate some level of revenue for the American government, but when we consider the fact that ultimately that tariff is paid for by the American consumer, and the less money you make, the more of your income you proportionately spend on what you consume, right? We understand that that revenue is being generated by a regressive tax that disproportionately affects you worse the less money you make. And I'm not okay with driving revenue for the government predicated on a tax on the poor. Not to mention shown that that revenue compiled with Donald Trump's expenditure doesn't fucking matter, okay? We would be better off and our debt would be lower if Kamala Harris was elected without the revenue from the tariffs, because we would also be foregoing the near $5 trillion that Donald Trump has already signed into debt-related spending in the last 10 months, including, but not limited to, the most expensive bill in American history, the big beautiful bill signed into law on July 4th. Now, to respond to the second point, arguing that the tariffs are going to drive more manufacturing into America, well, the tariffs actually limit the productive capacities of the economy as a whole. Point number one, it's because it forces us to create things that we're bad or inefficient at making, right? Point number two, it increases wealth disparities between small businesses and large businesses, because the large businesses will be the ones that will have the billions of dollars to invest into American manufacturing plants for the raw materials required to build their goods. Meanwhile, small businesses don't. They'll still have to buy those raw materials from elsewhere, thereby buying them for a higher price. Point number three, right? Ultimately, those tariffs limit the amount of innovation in the American marketplace, making us less competitive on the global stage. Okay, because what drives innovation? Competition. What do you limit when you impose tariffs? Foreign competition. Therefore, what do you limit when you impose tariffs? Innovation in our market. Right? And by the way, this is what I believe, and I've been saying this for a while, but funny enough, this is also something that Reagan said when he was president, the conservative icon.
Yes, that's true. I would just like to poke at your second point real quick. So I believe that's not true. If because can you explain your second point again? Because you said something on, because pretty much there's such thing as a monopoly. So with that being said, the government will always impede the monopoly. Therefore, your second claim is not true. Because you just pretty much said that the big companies were stronghold and this and that. When we already see big corporations and the little guy still tries to strive. That's called the American dream, Dean.
So okay, you obviously didn't understand my second point, because my second point had nothing to do with monopolies. My second point had to do with...
You tried to say that because you said the big guy would pretty much take over, which that is a monopoly.
No, my point was that the tariffs are detrimentally harmful to small businesses, less so than they are to large businesses. More so than to large businesses. And the reasons why tariffs are detrimentally harmful to small businesses is because a lot of small businesses are reliant on buying raw materials from other countries to produce their goods here.
Okay.
Raw materials are hit with tariff.
Okay, so boom. Right there just explains how you just lied, because a small business is majority not an import or export. Like you just said, they have to outsource their raw materials. So if you're outsourcing your raw materials, I doubt that you're exporting or importing any. If anything, you're importing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You're importing raw materials from other countries.
Right. So what is? So I'm just kind of confused, I guess.
I should have
explained to me. I'm mega. Explain to me.
I should have asked you when this conversation started. Do you know what a tariff is?
A tariff is pretty much a tax on anything that's being imported and exported, depending on that tariff.
So not exported, it's a tax on imports. Okay, so we just agreed that a lot of small businesses rely on imports from other countries for their raw materials to make their goods here. And then we just agreed that a tariff is a tax on imports, meaning that small businesses are going to have those imports taxed, and that cost is going to be passed off to them, which they're either going to have to eat and go out of business, or pass on to their consumer, thereby reducing the level and amount of consumers that they have by increasing their prices beyond the point of equilibrium.
I guess what I'm trying to explain is the majority of the small business, right, is not importing or exporting. They're not doing something like that. Like, can you name a small business that exports something? Because the majority of the time, it's a big farm.
You mean to say?
Hold on, Dean. Just let me.
You mean to say?
Let me land the plane, Dean, please.
Just you're confusing the words export and import here. We're talking about imports.
We're talking about imports. Okay. So my point of the matter is, right, so you're saying that when they import the raw materials, they get taxed, right? Do you pay taxes, Dean?
I do pay taxes.
I pay taxes. Okay, cool. So we all pay taxes. So we all know that we're gonna have to pay taxes. So even if they didn't import anything, hold on, Dean, hold on.
The point is,
even if they didn't import anything, they're still gonna have to file taxes at the end of the day. They're still gonna get taxed in some way. I get what you're saying. It's making it harder for them to conduct their service and their business.
Well, now they're just gonna have to pay significantly more in taxes, quote unquote,
right?
Because the cost of that tariff is passed off to them.
So you're advocating for the consumers at that point, I guess, or who are you advocating for?
Well, Yeah, the anti-tariff view is like the pro-consumer view, but that's not super relevant to my point. My point is just that, well, my second point was that tariffs disproportionately hurt small businesses more than large businesses, because small businesses are more reliant on imports of raw materials from other countries compared to large businesses that can invest the billions into building manufacturing plants for the raw materials here.
Okay. I agree with that. I digress. I digress with that.
All right. So that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't support the tariffs.
No. Me personally, like I said, I went to school for business economics, so I understand that. So if I'm running a business and it happens, I'm not going to sit here and cry about that Trump did that. No, I learned about that in economics,
but the matter of fact is that it hurts your business.
But you was already going to get taxed, is what I'm telling you. You get what I'm saying? Like, you was already people already pay tariffs. This is not the first tariff, right?
I'm so confused. Yes, I'm aware that Donald Trump's tariffs are not the first tariffs in American history. That doesn't change the fact that they're so incredibly harmful. Right?
It's not harmful for us, though. It's harmful for another. So if we're talking about
if you're trying to make the argument that, like, right, we shouldn't care, right, about the pain that tariffs cause because tariffs aren't a new concept, right? Then I shouldn't care about the supposed alleviation or benefit that you think tariffs will cause, because they're apparently not the first tariffs in history, and for whatever reason, that on its own is enough reason to rule out any care nor fuck nor shit for tariffs.
I agree with that. I agree with you because it just makes no sense. Like, if you study economics and you understand that a tariff was already implemented.
Wait, you said that you studied economics. What's equilibrium price?
It's just the balance of the demand and the supply, bro. Cool. Oh my God.
Wow, okay.
You can read graphs. Oh my God, Dean. You can read a fifth grade math. Anyways,
go ahead and try to, like, further this conversation in a productive direction.
Yeah, my fault. Because you are kind of like alleviating me from the. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to make, right? This is not a new concept. And not only is it not a new concept, I would make the argument that it does not affect our macroeconomics. It affects a completely different nation. So why are we complaining about it if we're generating more revenue? That's like my whole point.
Okay, well, I already gave you reasons why you're wrong.
But we're generating more revenue and we're making it more competitive.
Sir, I already, like, very specifically responded to the point of revenue. Do you need me to repeat it?
Okay, I'll ask you a question. Do you think that
No. Do you need me to repeat? Do you need me to repeat my reason why the revenue generated by tariffs is bad?
You took me, bro. You got it. Okay. So can I ask you a question? Do you think that when we say certain names, of the German Nazis, so forth, I don't want to be triggering, and then you
could say the word Hitler.
Yeah, all right. When we mention that and then we say the dictatorship stuff, do you think that it makes America look strong or weak?
Do I think that it makes America look weak or strong? When I, like, called Trump, like, a wannabe dictator?
Yeah, when you pretty much say that we have a dictator and stuff like that, how do you think that makes other nations look at us?
Definitely very negatively.
So would you say that you're contributing to a negative propaganda that we have a dictatorship, or?
Well, the fact of the matter is, I'm just calling the facts out for what they are. Right? Why are you blaming me for contributing to the image of negativity and weakness surrounding America when it is, in fact, rooted within the fact that Donald Trump is a wannabe dictator that is creating that image in the first place?
I hear you. No, I hear that. But that's kind of a straw man at the same point. I was just saying,
don't use the word straw man when you don't even know what it is.
That was a straw man. That was a huge straw man.
So imagine, like, what do you define straw man, just to make sure that we're on the same page here?
You pretty much took you. I put you in the hot chair, and then you pretty much put Trump in the hot chair in replace. That's a straw man. That's literally a straw man. That's a straw man, brother. That's a straw man.
Sir, I just clarified your point. You said it's my fault for calling Trump a wannabe dictator.
No, not necessarily.
For contributing to this image of, like, weakness and negativity surrounding America on the global stage, right? But it is, in fact, the fact that he is a wannabe dictator in the first place that is creating that image, and I'm just simply calling out the facts for what they are. Like, imagine this. Imagine that you know a man, right? You knew a dude in high school that, like, beat 3 of his girlfriends, okay? Right? And you don't like this guy because of that. So then you turn around, you get on social media, or you're talking to people at the school, and you say, this guy is a woman beater, all right? Obviously, you calling him a woman beater is going to be contributing to a negative image of that man, right? But you are doing so justifiably because he actually is, and that negative image is his fault because he's the one that beat 3 women. Right? The same way that you're telling me, right, that when I call him a wannabe dictator, I'm contributing to this image of weakness and negativity surrounding America and Trump on the global stage. Well, I'm doing so justifiably because he actually is a wannabe dictator, and it's his fault for being the wannabe dictator in the first place. It's his fault for calling for the termination of the Constitution in the first place. It's his fault for infringing on the First Amendment, saying we're taking your free speech away, right, in the first place. It's his fault for infringing on the 14th Amendment, trying to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants born in American soil in the first place. It's his fault for saying that he wants to run for a 3rd term and there's ways that he could get it done, even though the 22nd Amendment expressly limits him from being able to do that in the first place. So why are you blaming those things on me?
So I'll tell you why that was a poor analogy, because the woman beater does not run our nation and does not have any quote unquote influence over anything that a person says. Like you just sat there and named all the influence that Trump has, and you didn't name any influence that this woman beater has. So again, that's a false analogy, right? That's false. So the reason why, and now you have your first
level of influence
right?
At least
you have your, hold on, just let me land the plane
to it whatsoever. Listen,
yeah,
I'll just use another example that I think you'll like more. I don't even know why.
Nah, bro, I'll run with you.
Did you think that Biden was a bad president?
I don't really necessarily think anyone is, like, because it's hard to run a nation. Like, it's hard. I'm still a supporter of Trump. I'm saying, like,
this guy's weird.
I'm still a supporter of Trump. I'm just saying, like, I understand the politics and how hard it is to run a nation.
What the fuck are you saying?
Bro, I'm still a supporter of Trump. I'm just saying I understand.
This guy's so, like, delusional and insane.
Wow. All right, so let me finish my point. My point that I was making is that, in my opinion, it does kind of make us look weak, because you have this platform. Obviously,
yeah,
if this
it's
person,
his fault for being the wannabe dictator.
No, it's not.
It's not mine for.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm not saying it's your fault. But what I'm saying is, again, that you're contributing to the propaganda of the we have a dictator.
It's not propaganda.
It is propaganda if you say that we have a dictator. We don't have a dictator.
It's not propaganda if it's
you don't have a dictator.
If I call him a wannabe dictator, if I say that he's not a president that wants to play by the rules, but rather a wannabe all-powerful leader that wants to rewrite and make the rules, it's not propaganda if it's true.
That's propaganda right there, actually, because you just accused that he was rewriting history.
So
that's propaganda.
What particularly did I say that's false?
What? You just said that he's trying to rewrite history. In theory, every president is writing history.
The rules.
You know that, right, Dean? In theory, every president is writing
rules. I said he's trying to rewrite the rules, which is true. He said that it's illegal to criticize him in the media when the First Amendment obviously protects your ability to criticize the president in the media. That is him trying to rewrite the rules of the American Constitution to serve to his betterment.
Did he rewrite the Constitution, Dean?
Well, yeah, he actually did.
Therefore, it's propaganda. Therefore, you're
wait. I said yes to that.
You're
question.
spewing. I'm sorry.
I said yes to that question. I answered yes.
Oh, so
he literally tried to. Yes. Propaganda. No, with executive order number 14160 that he signed into law on his very first day in office, he tried to rewrite the first section of the 14th Amendment and deny the children of undocumented immigrants born in American soil access to birthright citizenship, even though they've been guaranteed that right since 1868. Okay. And that right has been reaffirmed to them by the Supreme Court twice, once in 1898 and then secondly in 1987.
Okay, Dean. So I just proved how he's trying to do it. He has not done it, so that's propaganda. My next question would be, how do you feel about?
Wait.
How would you feel about? No, I have a question.
I said, listen, dude. I said that he's a wannabe dictator. I said that he's trying to.
I'll grant you that. I'll grant you that. You did.
It's not propaganda. What I'm saying is true.
I'll grant you that. Now, do you think it's constitutional for an immigrant, that pledges to another nation to be like, in governmental influence? How do you feel about that, Dean?
What do you mean by pledge to another nation?
Like let's say that, ethnically speaking, they're not from, here, and they're here appropriately, right?
So they're not born in America, they were born in another country?
No.
And then they immigrated to America?
I didn't say nationality. No, their nationality would.
You said they're not
because they're born here. Yeah, they're from here, but I'm saying they pledge allegiance to a different nation is what I'm saying, because their family's from there, right? Oh, do you think that they should?
You mean,
for example, Zohar?
For example, like Israel?
No, for example, Omar. Do you know who Omar is?
Wait, what about Israel?
What about Israel?
What about, like the president saying that Netanyahu's a war hero, he's our best friend, and that we just got to do whatever they want? Or like Rockefeller, a senator, saying that he will always vote in the best interests of Israel? Or what about AIPAC literally ensuring, right, that congressmen and women do? Or like what about Donald Trump pledging his allegiance to Argentina and giving them $40 billion? Or, like what about all of the congressmen and women, right, that literally went to Israel, sat down with Netanyahu and said, what can we do to help you? Ooh, Israel, we love you, Israel, right? So is that
but you didn't answer my question, though, bro. Okay, you didn't answer my question, but to try to answer yours, I'm not really. Do you know like how Israel was, like how it was founded, like in the 50s, and how the ties to that? So because if you know that, then that would kind of answer your question about the Israel.
Okay, so you're saying that there's some justification for a whole government.
No, you would just not ask that straw man question if you really knew about the history. You know what I mean? Because again, you're just straw man.
So something about the history justifies pledging allegiance to Israel. Got it.
It just you wouldn't ask that question because you would have known it back in high school.
I know you went to a good high school. So something about the history justifies pledging allegiance to another country so much so that I wouldn't even ask the question to begin with. Thank you so much for contradicting yourself, sir. In one breath, it should be unconstitutional to pledge allegiance to another country, and in another fucking breath, right? We should totally pledge allegiance to another country because of their history, I guess.
No, I just said, again, the ties, when they was founded and so forth and so forth. But my question is...
So forth and so forth. It's justified to pledge allegiance to Israel. Got it. What's your next argument?
Did Biden send any money to Israel?
Yeah. You think that this is a partisan issue? You're wrong, okay? It's bipartisan. I just think that the issue is significantly more predominant on the right than the left. But this doesn't mean that the left in Congress is innocent.
Okay, yeah, and I'm on the same... I'm on the same thing, so I don't want to, I'm on the same thing, bro. Like, the politics is cooked. Anyways.
If you're on the same thing, then you want to support the right, given the fact that they're so more significantly pro-Israel.
Listen, man, there's emotions, there's social economic stuff. Like, we get finessed.
There's emotions?
Okay?
There's emotions.
Yes,
thank you so much for saying the quiet part out loud. Yes, you have emotions to justify your support from Trump. Yes.
Everybody emotionally vote. Like, that's how politics works. It's based on emotions, social economics, and so forth and so forth. But anyway.
Facts over feelings, buddy.
Correct. How do you feel about, can you explain the due process? Because you mentioned the due process for illegals and people, drug smugglers. Could you explain how that would play out? Like, how could you do the due process with that?
How could you, do due process in deporting an undocumented immigrant? By giving them a hearing in front of an immigration judge.
My question is, so you basically, you'll take them, right? And then you'll put them where? Like, what captivity do they come into our prison? Where do they go?
I don't know. I don't get what you're saying. I'm honestly going to move on to the next Trump supporter. You have a good one, Rodney. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that is pro-Trump, folks. We'll happily get you loaded up in here while we're getting the next guest loaded up. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Speedway. Speedway with a $20 says, I'm anti-Trump, Humpers, and anti-Trump himself. He's not Republican just because he says so. Blind partisanship makes people want that. F that. Hail the Gulf of Mexico. Thank you so much for the $20 Speedway. Let's get 500 Speedway W's, as well as let's get, holy shit, 500 Michael W's for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Michael, my man, holy shit. Michael with the $50 says, I'm not going to break the rules and come up because I'm not opposition or a troll, but in the words of that one quote-unquote bro earlier, let's go, Dean. Hype. Woo. Dude, thank you so much for the love, Michael. Thank you so much, bro. That is so fucking kind of you. Show some love to Michael down below in that chat while we're starting this next debate with the next Trump supporter right now. Thank you both so very, very much for your love and support over on YouTube Super Chat. If you're watching today and you do want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio and TikTok, as well as you can find it within the bio, the pin message on YouTube. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Billy?
Yeah, I do, Dean, but so I just got to do something. Can I come in the next person?
Yeah, you also sound like you're from the UK, so you got to be American to come up. But if you are, feel free to hop in that queue. Hello, do you support Trump?
Hey, bro, what you saying? Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
18 as of this year.
What time is it?
3:40.
And what state are you in?
I don't feel comfortable saying that.
Okay, well then I'm going to kick you because I don't think that you are in an American state.
That's just a bit mean.
All right, well, it's because you have a British accent that you're trying to conceal. Moving on to the next guest, Appleman. While we're getting Appleman loaded up in here, Philip, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Thank you, Philip. Philip says, how does an economic major know what a tariff is? Thank you for teaching the Magadine. Thank you, Philip. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Is that guy okay? Yo, hope homie's okay. Yo, you take... yeah, you take care. Okay. What? Thank you, Philip. Oh boy. As well as let's see here. Darius, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Zaya, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. And Gashan, thank you for the $5 over at Venmo. What's going on, AJ? Do you support Trump?
No, not anymore. You changed.
Dude, based AJ, I remember you coming up just the other day and having a debate with me. Shout out to you, man. Huge shout out to you. And then yo, Jay, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Thank you, Jay. Jay with the $50 says, you seem bored with the abortion argument. I'll donate an extra $50 if you could get a pro-lifer to agree to government-mandated random kidney donation and get them to donate their kidney to me. AB plus blood universal acceptance. I feel like if I frame it right, I'd actually get a Trump supporter to die on that hill. Your other $50 may not be safe, Jay, but thank you so much for the $50 donation. You're awesome. Show some love to Jay. What's up, Jay, the Trump supporter on the live, not the Jay that just donated. Are you MAGA?
Definitely not.
Oh, base man. We are just looking for Trump supporters, so I'm gonna have to remove you. Appleman is back in the queue. Hey, are you okay?
I stepped on a needle. My bad.
Really?
Yeah. It was like one of those screw thingies.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. Okay, I'm really.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, I'm not laughing at the fact that you stepped on the needle. I'm just like laughing at like the reaction and like. Anyway, I hope you're well. I'm just gonna stop talking. Are you MAGA?
Say that again. I cut out.
Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And what year are you born in?
2007.
Okay, he's doing something weird. So he's doing something weird. So we're gonna kick him and move on to the next guest. What the fuck? Yo, JGEY, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat, who says, I never supported Trump, but watching you has inspired me to do way more research, create a 60-page Google Doc full of sources for varying topics and disseminating it to the masses. We love you, dog. Well, thank you, Jay. I'm really happy to hear that I've gotten you to be more politically active. That's what I want. You know, the point of these lives is to try to change people's minds, while also like simultaneously trying to like get liberals to be more engaged and active. You know what I mean? Also, Mike, thank you so much for the 20 Canadian dollar on Super Chat. Mike with the 20. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for the love. Says, I've been listening the last few days. You've had a few callers. I wouldn't have been so nice, dude. Kudos to you. Well, my patience is tested at times, but you know, we get through it. As well as Sarah, thank you for the $20, who says, love seeing the younger generation stand up for what's right and schooling all of the Trump supporters. Well, thank you, Sarah. We try to do that here. Thank you so much for the $20. Shout out to all the donors. Thank you guys so much. Listen, for the 8.8 thousand people that have joined us on TikTok, unfortunately at this point, we will have to restart. You know, there's smaller things that I can say that will get us a flag on TikTok for like violence, hate speech. I'm not really sure what it is. The flags are very random. But when we collect to those flags, we got to restart the live stream just to keep our account safe. We don't want to lose the account. So unfortunately, we got to do that now. If you are watching the stream right now, the restarts take 5 seconds. So you'll be able to hop right back in to where we are at right now, 5 seconds from the moment I end the stream. If you want to come back, hit that follow button. It's on the top of your phone screen. Hit that shit right now. Then you'll be able to find me on your following list, right? That's going to be a really easy way to come back. I'm also going to show you another really easy way to come back. So this is what your phone's going to look like when we end the stream. It's going to say live has ended. Then it's going to show you my profile picture right here. If you actually click on that profile picture, it's going to send you over to this account page. Once you're on this account page, I want you to count to 10, like literally out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swipe down on the videos. It'll refresh the account page. Then you're going to click on the new red live glowing orb around the profile picture, and you'll be back into the new stream. So we're going to go to restart it right now. I just like to always describe how to come back to make sure that people know. I'm gonna start counting down from 10. By the moment I hit 1, we're already gonna be back up. All right, it's restart time. 10, 9, 8. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Welcome back in, everybody. Look at that restart. There's never been such a fast restart, quite frankly. There's never been such a fast restart. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. All right, let's go ahead and hop into this debate, folks. Hop in that queue if you support Trump as president. We'll get you pulled up here. We'll have a conversation. It'll be great. It'll be so great. Moving on to that first guest, we got Charlie loading up into the box, quite frankly. Woo! Hey, what's up, Charlie? Do you support Trump?
I want to touch you while you sleep.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that as a, I don't know, touch you while you sleep. That's unconsensual. That's rapey. Like, actually, it's like the shit a rapist would say. Definitely a Trump supporter. We're going to move on to the next guest. Definitely a Trump supporter. That's not even supposed to be a joke either. I wouldn't doubt it if he's like genuinely a Trump supporter. All right. What's up, John? Do you support Trump?
I did in the beginning, but not after a while. I think it's kind of on a power trip.
Yo, base, John. You're absolutely right. He is. Happy to hear that you've changed your mind, man. Moving on to the next guest right now. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be a Trump supporter. We'll get you loaded up. Hello, do you support Trump?
Oh, snap. What's going on? What's up, Dean?
What's going on, dude? Are you MAGA?
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even mean to join this. Appreciate you.
No worries, Kylan. You take care. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Make sure if you are in the queue that you are following the rules. The rules are super simple. You just got to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. And if you're watching and you're like, hey, I like this Dean guy, hey, I like the streams, and you want to support me, you can actually find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio over on my TikTok account, as well as you can find it in the pin message of the YouTube stream. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love today, and happy Halloween, folks. I hope that everybody enjoys your
Dean, I'm a huge fan, bro.
Dude, shout out to you. We appreciate that, boss. But like I just said, we're only looking to debate Trump supporters, so I got to kick you, but you take care, E. Moving on to the next guest right now. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
You a fungus, baby.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you support Trump?
Okay. I wanted to talk to you. My family is heavy on Trump supporting. I've been born into a family that only supports Trump. They don't believe in a woman running the country or whatever. I'm not intelligent whenever it comes to the government, but I have a couple questions coming in as a new generation.
Well, I actually have a question. Do you want to throw one of your family members on the mic?
I am nowhere near any of them, and I'm pretty sure they know nothing about Trump. They just support him because he's a man.
Listen, I have that debate too, though. I debate people that think that men are better at leading than women. Here's what I'm going to say to you. Neighborhood AI, I'm going to remember your name. I want you to talk to one of those family members, ask them if they're down to have a conversation with somebody that disagrees with them, and then see if they're down to join the live, okay?
Okay, hold on. I am not 18, I'm sorry, but...
Definitely got to remove you for that, man. But listen, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you for being able to realize that that is false. I'm proud of you for being underage, still being a kid, living under your family's roof, and not just basically agreeing with him because that's what you were taught growing up. I think that is exceptional. Bravo to you for that, man. And yeah, feel free to get them on the mic to have a conversation with me if they're down to have it. But seriously, bravo to you. You have my respect for that. You have my big time respect for that. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, and how old are you?
20.
What year were you born in?
05.
What's your name?
Martinez.
Martinez. All right, Martinez. Why the hell do you support Trump, the worst president of your 20 years of life?
To go and you're a fucking nigger.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and ban Martinez. Definitely a Trump supporter, 110%. Just came up here saying slurs. Let's go to get that next guest on the line. We got Haley loading into the stream right now. Here we go. We got Haley connecting.
I love you.
Hi, Haley. Was that directed towards me, or are you a Trump supporter? Do you love me or do you hate me?
What was that?
Are you MAGA?
No.
Oh, shout out to Haley. I appreciate you for your kindness. We are just looking to debate Trump supporters, folks. I would really appreciate it if everybody in the queue could please follow the rules, everybody. If you're in the queue, just make sure that you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. Hello. Riss, do you support Trump?
Hippity hoppity get Trump on my fucking property.
I'm going to go ahead and take that as a no. Moving on to the official biz, the BEZ. Here we go. Thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat. Diabetic. Thank you so much. Sympathetic diabetic. As well as Elizabeth. Thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal. Who says, seems like you are in a better mood today versus the last few days. Always glad to catch your lives. Much love, Dean. Much love to you as well, Elizabeth. I am in a pretty good mood. It's because I'm out of my town. I'm in Boulder hanging out with friends. And as soon as I end this stream, I'm going to head over, get a pregame with some of the bros, and go to a house party with my old friends, right? So I'm in a good mood. How could I not be? It's Halloween. Happy Halloween. Enjoy yourselves tonight, folks. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yo, Dean, if you ever need like a fucking bodyguard, bro, I'll beat someone's ass for you. I'm being dead ass.
You know what? Consider your application submitted and under review, sir. You have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for those very confident and kind words. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the stream. Thank you. I'll have to consider hiring you. No, I think that I may start needing a bodyguard here. But guys, you'd be surprised on like how differently people act in real life compared to the internet. You know, like if you've been watching the streams, like you know how like Nick Fuentes fans like act when they come up here, right? They're very hostile, scream slurs. Yesterday, a Nick Fuentes fan came up to me in person and was like, "Hey man, like thank you for what you do. Even though I disagree with you, I think it's cool that you had these conversations." Kind of in the middle, I watch Nick, I watch you. Right? Just completely different energy than like what we see on live. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, folks. Only up in that queue if you happen to be an American adult that's pro-Trump. We are still looking for the first debate, and we've been live for 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, we have not been able to find one Trump supporter. For the 4.8 thousand people that have joined us over on TikTok, if I could please have you guys tippity-tap it away in that phone screen, sending this live out to a handful of friends, trying to get this live stream to shoot out and across that For You page. That'd be incredibly beneficial because right now, quite frankly, we just don't have enough people in here to find one Trump supporter that is willing and ready to come up here and debate. Like, it is like, literally 0.0001% of the viewers are Trump supporters that are willing to come up here and have a conversation with me about why. 0.001% of the viewers. Absolute insanity, folks. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Yeah, you're like 14. Goodbye. Dude, I'm telling you, where are the Trump supporters at? Where are they hiding? They're going extinct. Hello, Billy. Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
What year are you born in?
2005. Sorry, I lost my voice.
And what time is it?
It's 1:53.
And what state are you in?
In California.
And what's the capital of California?
LA.
No, wrong. British. Get out. Leave.
I'm not British.
Leave.
I'm not British.
It's 1778 all over again. It's 1778 all over again. The British is coming. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next guest, folks. I'm done. I'm done fucking around. Hello. Do you support Trump?
Hello.
Hi. Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk to you. Okay, I really do. But your mic, very terrible. Okay. Disconnect any Bluetooth devices. Disconnect any headphones, headsets, earbuds, AirPods, anything that the kids are using today. Right? Just disconnect them all. Talk to me through your phone's mic. Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you, man. Please go pry about me to bad Christianity joke. I was gonna tell him to pray to Jesus for a better mic, but I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit tone deaf. All right. Moving on to John. Here we go, guys. Just looking for a Trump supporter to come up here and debate me. All right, we are out of luck. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do, man.
And how old are you, John?
I'm 18. I was born in 2006. 12/12/06, man.
All right, John. All right.
Yeah.
So why the hell do you support the worst president of your 18 years of life?
I don't really know yet, but like I don't really care for that much change. You feel me?
I don't feel you. I don't understand what you're saying. Just ask him why you support Trump, and the response you said, I don't care. I really want change. What? And now he's leaving. And he would be 19 predicated off the birth date that he gave, and I just didn't even listen to the date that was given. Hello, do you support Trump?
Hello? I do support Trump.
All right, Adam. Why is that?
I like his immigration policies and economic policies.
Okay, are you faking your voice?
I'm not faking my voice.
How old are you?
57.
It was a popular band in the 80s.
Nigger, 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 nigger. I.
That was droll. Moving on to Sammy Bear. Here we go, guys. All right, yeah. Well, we literally have more Trump supporters that want to come up here and scream slurs than those that want to debate. Listen, if you're watching this live, you're on the right, you're independent, you're in the middle. These are very compelling reasons to hop over to the left. Okay, because what does the left have? Reason. What does the left have? Fact. What does the left have? Arguments. What does the left do? Critically think. What does the right have? No reason, no fact, no arguments, only slurs and hatred. If this life doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. We've been live now on this restart for 11 minutes. 3 people have come up and spam slurs. Not one person has come up and given an argument. Welcome in, Sammy. Do you support Trump?
Hi.
Hi, Sammy. Do you support Trump?
Can I tell you a story about you and Parker?
No, just do you support Trump, ma'am?
I'm just a fan. Bye.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Sammy. I do really appreciate that. I do have to remove you, not only because you're not a Trump supporter, but also because the baby cries are very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. Very, very indeed.
Oh, yo, D.
Do you support Trump, Spooky?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Yo, can I get a W, Laura, from you?
Yo, what up? What up, Dean?
Can I get a W, Laura, from you?
Yo, W Laura.
For the $25 on Venmo.
Hey,
saying buy yourself a drink. Appreciate that, Laura. Thank you so much for the love. I will be using that to buy myself a drink. Thank you so much, Laura. Fuck yes. We're having fun tonight, baby. Let's go. Let's get 250
you're
Laura,
wasting my time,
Laura W's
man.
down below.
Come on now. Fucking time waster.
Okay, and he left. Dude. Ah! Dude. Still, somehow, lasted longer with me than your ex-girlfriend. And you were up here for 9 seconds, Spooky. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and get Milkman16 up in the box. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I love you, Dean. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. Listen, appreciate you for the love. It's very kind. Very kind. Hello. Do you support Trump, Max?
Hello?
Hey, do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean, what them hands do?
I don't know. Kick you if you don't support Trump? Was that witty enough for you?
What them hands do?
Kick you if you don't support Trump. I'm solidified answer. So do you support Trump?
I think we should box.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Trump supporter. Ooga booga. Throw fists. Not debate intellectually. Thank you for proving my point.
What them hands do?
Okay. This is your 3rd time asking that question. So do you support Trump, Max? One more.
I think we should box.
Okay. Shut up, Max. Do you support Trump?
What them hands do, though?
Yeah, nobody cares. Be quiet. Do you support Trump?
I don't know. Can you fight?
Okay, so you don't know if you support Trump. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest. We got Jonathan loading up in. Zach, thank you so much for the $5 over of Venmo saying a drink on me. Thank you, Zach. Dude, I kind of need that right now. I need that drink. Thank you. Thank you for the love, Zach. As well as Nancy. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for the love. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump, Jonathan?
Nah.
Okay, then get out of here. We are now 14 minutes into the stream without a single debate, by the way. 14 minutes into the stream, no debates, 4 people spamming slurs, like 2 people threatening violence. It's a little bit better. Hello.
A little bit? All right, can you, hello. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. So I have a question. How do you consolidate, right, your name, Jesus is King, with your support for Trump, considering the fact not only is Trump not a Christian, but he loves infringing on God's commandment in the gospel, 10 commandments and moral law, right, ranging from being an adjudicated rapist, boasting about sexually exploiting underage girls, right, passing economic policy to disadvantage the lesser among us, low-income Americans, and refusing, right, to cover the bill for SNAP benefits, allowing them to expire for 41 million low-income Americans. When Psalm says the glory that you give to those who have lesser than you is the glory that you will receive in the kingdom of heaven. And when Matthew says the way that you treat the lesser among you is the way that you're treating the Lord your God.
I don't really know because I'm not that good with politics, but I came to debate you with abortion. That's okay. Abortion.
So you don't know.
I'm not that good with politics.
Well, I mean, what I just said wasn't political. It was biblical.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. Honestly, I just was raised in a MAGA household, and honestly, I thought he was a Christian, to be honest.
Okay. Well, if you just straight up don't have an answer to those things, unfortunately, I will have to be moving on to our next guest here. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal, saying Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you as well, Elizabeth. As well as Rebecca with the $15 who says Happy Halloween. Happy fucking Halloween, Rebecca. Show some love to Elizabeth and Rebecca down below in that chat. Thank you both so very much. If you're watching and you do want to support me, like Elizabeth and Rebecca, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok, as well as you can find it in the pinned message on YouTube. Any and all donations that are sent, I receive as a notification on the top of my phone where I could read your name out loud and any and all attached messages. What's going on, Shan? Shan Cox. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're British.
Yes, and I'd love to move to America to be a proper Trump supporter. Okay. We need Trump in this country.
Listen, Shan, it's been 16 minutes without a debate. I usually kick people that are British, kick people that aren't from America. I'm going to let you stay on the live. Let's have this conversation. Why the fuck do you want Trump to be like the same wannabe dictator of the UK that he is the wannabe dictator of America?
Well, because of what he's done so far in America. He's made your country safer. He's saved you like thousands of pounds. And if you look at British stuff at the moment, we have no freedom of speech. If you put up a Facebook status, you're sent to prison. It's very crazy in the UK right now. You can't do anything. We had an illegal recently.
Listen, we're not here to, we're not here to talk about the UK. See, this is usually why I kick people that aren't American off the stream. We're not here to talk about the UK, right? I'm not educated on UK politics. I'm educated on American politics. So
this is why I believe in Trump, because I've got family who live in Texas, and I am in the process of applying to move to America.
Okay, so why do you support
Because I've
Trump?
seen how great he has made your country.
Okay, so what has he done that's benefited the country?
He's made your streets safer.
How so?
New York City safer by putting, yeah.
How so?
How so?
Yeah,
He's put like the soldiers around, making it safer, where a lot of people have said that it is safer in that country and that they feel a lot safer in New York, Chicago, places like that.
So this is one of my many issues with like debating people that maybe aren't American, because like there's just so much more misinformation. The National Guard was never deployed in New York City.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, wasn't.
Oh, well, that is completely my fault for not knowing that. But
yeah,
I just love Trump for what he stands for, and I've always watched Trump since my family moved to Texas. They love Trump. They agree with everything that's been happening over there, what Trump's been doing. They've always been Trump supporters, and that's why I want to move over there.
I asked you for a reason why, and then you said, well, you put the National Guard in New York City. That's misinformation. So do you have any like reasons why you support Trump that aren't misinformation?
Well, yeah, because of what he stands for. He wants to make America great again.
Oh, okay. He wants to make America great again. Well, you understand he hasn't fucking done that, right? You know, like, just consider this. Did he make America great again when he passed the most expensive bill in American history at $4.5 trillion, the big, beautiful bill that also redistributed wealth from the poor to the rich, reducing the after-tax income and purchasing power of 156 million American citizens, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, while only increasing it and giving more back to the top 1%? Did he make America great again when he refused to fund food stamps for 41 million American citizens? Is he making America great again by allowing them to starve, allowing them to go without dinner, allowing them to go without food, allowing them to go without lunch or breakfast? Is he making America great again by like militarizing American cities, saying that the real enemy is the enemy from within, declaring war on Democrats, saying that he's taking our free speech away by infringing on the First Amendment, by trying to find a way to ban the burning of the American flag? Is he making America great again, right, by trying to rig and steal the outcomes of federal elections, as he did in 2020 when he sent fake slates of electorates to 7 of our key swing states that Biden won, then told them to send fake votes back to Congress saying that he won those states? Then he argued in court that he did try to do this, but it's only because the Democrats stole the election first, which there's no evidence for, and there's never been any evidence for, right? Did he make America great again when he raped E. Jean Carroll, was sued for it, found guilty, then said that she should be thrown in prison? Did he make America great again when he was found guilty on 34 felony counts, then still ran for president, then scapegoated any and all accountability, right? Because he was president and the judge didn't want to throw a sitting president in jail. Did he make America great again when he illegally deported Abrigo Garcia to Sicat in El Salvador, where he was beaten, tortured, and starved for 3 months, lost 30 pounds, being forced to kneel from 9 p.m. until 6 a.m., and if he fell, he was beaten by the guards, which he was? Did he make America great again when he declared, as I already put out, war on American cities, sending the masked, plainclothes ICE agents that don't have to identify themselves to black bag college students on the streets of American cities, then taken to detention centers, propped up in 7 days like alligator Alcatraz in violation of withholding order from judges? I could keep going too. Did he make America great again when he let's see. I mean, do you want me to keep on going or should I stop there?
Well, no, because he has made America great again by the deportation.
Okay. What is one way that deportation materially benefits America?
One way, it makes your streets a lot safer.
It's actually
Take it from us Brits, it actually does.
Yeah, so that's not true. Undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes on American soil than citizens. And when you deport undocumented immigrants, not only does the crime rate go up, but so does a total nominal amount of crime because of the economic impact of mass deportation destabilizing our industries and increasing our levels of poverty, thereby increasing the level of crime. And by the way, I want to ask you this question. Do you think a child would be safer with the average undocumented immigrant or with Trump?
With the undocumented.
Okay. So if you want to remove undocumented immigrants from this country to make our country safer, even though you understand that a child would be safer with the average undocumented immigrant compared to Trump, then why don't you, at the bare minimum, want to remove Trump from office to make the country safer?
Well, no, because I'd send them with them who's the undocumented. That is what I thought that your question was a child who has come from another country with the undocumented. That's why I said that, send them back with them.
No. I was asking you, right, if a child would be safer alone in a room with the average undocumented immigrant or with
Trump.
Okay, so how can a child be safer alone in a room with the average undocumented immigrant compared to Trump when the average undocumented immigrant is 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes compared to the average U.S. citizen, and then Donald Trump is significantly more likely to commit a violent crime compared to the average U.S. citizen, considering the fact that he actually has on multiple occasions, including but not limited to raping Jean Carroll, then being found guilty of it by a court, or going on Howard Stern's podcast and boasting about sexually exploiting naked children and naked women by walking into their dressing rooms when they had no clothes on to perv on them.
Wasn't Joe Biden?
No, todavía no. Todavía no hacen el TEPS en la montaña completa, no. Es dialecto. Pues yo ya lo bloqueé. Por lo menos lo muteé. Vamos adentro, pues. Vamos a la atracción. Ayúdame, dale, tap, tiki, 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 la pancho, you. No. Los moderadores, no. Olvídate, con los moderadores también. Damn, ya hay mucha gente entrando a esta atracción.
Hi.
It's not working?
I'm trying to clear some out. Did you want to rent a locker?
No, I just want to use the free one.
Take out?
I just want to use the free one. The free. The,
just get out of your way.
Oh, let me get in this way.
Probably what you're paying now, 5 cents, 3 cents for that water?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would probably pay 3 cents for this cup of water. Now, imagine that I didn't have the water from the sink society bathroom, so on and so forth. And instead of me sitting in front of you holding this glass of water in an Airbnb in Boulder, Colorado, I was standing in front of you holding this glass of water in the middle of the Sahara Desert. How much do you think I'd pay for this glass of water then?
Yeah, you'd pay a lot more.
A lot more. So you're saying, right, the more units of something you have, the less valuable each individual unit is, right? And that's a really good analogy to kind of prove that concept. And now the same law, called the law of diminishing returns, applies to money, okay? Each individual unit of money that you have, the more units you have, the less valuable each individual one is. Okay,
and it depends on your situation, though. It depends on your situation.
Somebody with $5, each dollar is significantly more valuable to them than somebody with $5 billion.
Right, and that's why we have a progressive tax, and that's why they pay.
And that's why rich people should pay more in taxes than the average American or low-income Americans. Is because the law of diminishing returns of the dollar of value.
They already are. And they're the ones also creating jobs. Don't forget that. So then, at what point do you stop soaking the rich? See, that's what I absolutely don't like about this argument. There's already a significant progressive tax on the American.
Do you disagree with a progressive tax rate?
No, I said I do agree with it. Okay. Right. But at what point does it end? So, for example, there's
other things. There's other things that play into, well, what progressive tax rate should we have? And a lot of that has to do with the wealth distribution, right? And income inequalities. At a time with higher levels of income inequities, this is a time where we should alleviate the tax burden of low-income Americans, and when alleviating the tax burden of low and middle income Americans, we have less money to fund systems we need. Thereby, we need to increase the tax burden on higher income earners, right? And right now in America, we have very similar levels of wealth and income inequity to France before the French Revolution, right? They're way too high. They're unsustainably high. So we very obviously need to alleviate, right, that tax burden on the low and middle class, make their life easier, increase their purchasing power, not just for moral reasons, but also for prudential and economic concerns, okay? And then what's the answer? Once we lose their revenue, are we going to cut our expenditure? Well, I mean, we could cut the military budget. We never get a bipartisan agreement on that. Okay, we shouldn't cut Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, Section 8 food stamps. People rely on those to live, and they generate
Wait a minute, no,
for the
I don't
country.
agree.
So maybe the only thing that we could do is increase our debt or increase the tax burden on corporations or rich/wealthy individuals.
That's true. However, first of all, I want to make a couple points. One is, you knew very well the tax situation, so you know that the bottom 50% only pay an average rate of 3.7%.
I mean, I'll just take you for your word.
Okay, well, no, it's all from the same IRS 2022 tax year, which is the last complete year that we have all this data. It's the same where we talked about the 40%. It all comes from the same source. So yes, take my word for it. The bottom 50% pay 3.7%. So what I want to say is, in this time when the Republicans want to scale back the expansion of, I got to let someone in here, the expansion of healthcare on certain people, I think why should we do that? Why should we keep expanding and expanding?
Who gets on food stamps? I have a really good argument for you, considering your own concerns. Okay?
Go ahead.
So you're saying the bottom 50% only pay an average effective tax rate of like 3%, right? So obviously, right, in order for us to be able to run the government, right, we're going to need more people that are in the bottom 50% of income earners. We're going to need more people with an income like over a threshold of like $35,000, right? So more people are paying taxes to run the government, to run the country, to keep society running. Okay, well, the social safety nets, Medicaid, Medicare, Section 8 food stamps, so on and so forth, right, don't just help low-income Americans, right, in their day-to-day lives, making them happier and healthier. Don't just keep them alive. They actually grant them more economic mobility, so they're easier and better able to scale and grow their own income, as it gives them more bargaining power in the workplace and more time to dedicate on building skills. Okay, when you don't have social safety nets, when you can't rely on the government for housing, for food assistance, for healthcare assistance, so on and so forth, when you don't have a job, you're fucking cooked. You die. Therefore, when you're in the position of being a low-income American, and there's no social safety nets in your like eudaimonic world, well, then they need to go to the least competitive firm and they need to immediately get a job, regardless of the wages that they're paying, to keep themselves and their families alive. But you give them those social safety nets, you're giving them that backing of more assurance that if they don't immediately have a job, they'll still be able to get by and live. Therefore, they have more bargaining power to hold against a potential employer to negotiate and garner higher wages, or to interview at a more competitive firm that they're less likely to get a job at that would also pay them higher wages, or to spend more time on focusing on like an online degree, trade skill, so on and so forth. Because instead of having to work 65 hours a week to get by, maybe they could scale back to 40.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to love this. I agree with what you're saying. Now then, why is it a problem for the Republicans to require able-bodied people to work in order to receive those benefits? What's wrong with that?
Because I think we have a social agreement that essential social services shouldn't have a work requirement on them. I could detail this issue to you. Do you think in order to
I don't agree. I think that's where we completely disagree.
Do you think in order to call the police to show up at your house to report and record a crime that you should have to be working?
To call the police?
To show up to your house and report and record a crime?
Because something illegal is going on? Of course not.
Okay, all right. So that's
illegal.
That's an essential social service that you just said shouldn't have a work requirement on it.
Illegal. Something illegal is going on, and we have a police force to handle an illegal situation.
Right.
What illegal is going on, dude?
And you're saying that anybody should be able to access a police force, right? Because it makes their life better, it extends their lifespan, and it makes society as a whole better off, right? Well, anybody should be able to access Medicaid, right, if you're a low-income American, because it makes their life better, it extends their lifespan, and it makes society as a whole better off. Not to mention, right, I'd say that calling the police can be essential in many scenarios, just like going to the hospital and chatting with a doctor to get a checkup, get that skin dot checked out, right, ensure that you don't have cancer, so on and so forth, right, is also essential.
Oh, it's essential of housing, food, a car, a phone, healthcare.
Well,
I mean, where does it end?
Healthcare doesn't give you a phone.
Where does it end, Dean?
Healthcare doesn't give you a phone. And we're very specifically talking about Medicaid because that is what the Trump administration put a work requirement on through the big, beautiful bill.
And I think it's okay. And I disagree. I don't think that's a problem. And the able-bodied person who can get a job, Dean, should get a job. And then if they're not making enough, listen, if they're not making enough, then they should be on Medicaid.
Well, listen, our disagreement doesn't lie that if you're able to work, you should work, right, under optimal conditions, right?
Yeah.
Our disagreement doesn't lie there, okay? If you're able to work and you're an American adult, you should work. Right, I agree.
Okay, good.
Right.
Good.
But I think that policy to incentivize that work should be separate and decoupled from policy that saves lives.
Policy. Okay, can you repeat that one more time? That's where I guess I'm not following.
We agree that American adults that can work should work.
Yes.
But we disagree because I believe that policy to incentivize that work should be separate and decoupled from policy that keeps people alive.
No.
If it shouldn't be separate and decoupled.
What motivation does someone have?
If it
someone doesn't have any motivation to do work, Dean.
If it shouldn't be separate and decoupled because you think it'll motivate people to work if we attach it to policy that saves lives, then why shouldn't we attach it to calling the police? Okay, right? If we put a work requirement, if we put a work requirement on calling the cops, if we put a work requirement on calling the firefighters, if we put a work requirement on driving on public roadways, which are all essential social services paid for by the taxpayer, wouldn't this incentivize people to work too? If the government showed up at your doorstep and threatened to shoot you in the arm if you didn't get a job tomorrow, would that incentivize you to work?
Yeah, that would incentivize.
Yeah, if the government kidnapped your children and said that they'd only give your children back to you once you get a job, would that incentivize you to work? So maybe, merely because something incentivizes people to work, doesn't mean it's good policy.
Okay, but your analogy to the police where something illegal is going on does not. You can't make that analogy with healthcare. I'm sorry. I completely disagree with you.
Why not? Because you're arguing that the state would have an obligation to respond to things that are illegal in that state, right? Why?
Right. So what's illegal?
Why do you think that state has the obligation to respond to something illegal that is occurring inside of a state, even if the person reporting said illegal thing does not have a job? Why do they have that obligation? By the way, I agree with you that they do. We are just now going to explore the reasons for that obligation and see if we can mirror any of them onto healthcare. So why does the state have that obligation?
Why does the state to keep law and order?
Okay.
In the community.
And then what is the importance of maintaining law and order?
The importance of maintaining law and order is so that we have a safe society.
And what's the importance of a safe society?
I don't know. People feel free. They have freedom.
Yeah. People that are happier, people that are healthier, and people that are freer.
Okay.
So ultimately, you're saying that we shouldn't have a work requirement on calling the police force because the police force, in your mind, keeps people happier, healthier, and freer. You know what else keeps people happier, healthier, and freer? Healthcare. Mic drop.
Happier, healthier, freer. I don't know about, maybe freer. Yeah, that's true. But the point is there's no incentive to work then, Dean. I'm sorry. That's why I don't agree. There's no.
Wait, I have a question.
What's the incentive to work? If you're going to be made happier, healthy. Wait a minute. If you're going to be happier, healthier, and freer, then we can give this person whatever they think is going to make them quote unquote happier. Which whatever makes you happy is going to be different from what makes me happy. So this is a
I disagree.
Really bad
You're saying that
argument,
no, you're making a bad argument because you're the one that's saying if we don't have a work requirement on Medicaid, then there's no incentive to work. So then explain to me why when we didn't have a work requirement on Medicaid under the Biden-Harris administration, we had 2 points where we had 50-year low levels of unemployment. There's no incentive to work.
Yeah, Dean, there's unemployment and there's underemployment.
You
okay?
I'm making a good argument, man. You know that I'm thinking reasonably.
No, you're thinking reasonably, but I still don't think there's an incentive for someone to get help that's able-bodied to go get a job in order to get health care. I do not see a problem with that. I'm sorry.
I proved to you that incentive existed because we had so significantly low levels of unemployment when we didn't have a work requirement on Medicaid. But now I'll explain to you why that incentive existed. It's because, although, you could go get health care, when you don't have a job on Medicaid, that doesn't cover the basic requirements for a healthy life, in general. Just because you have access to go to the hospital on Medicaid doesn't mean that you have a roof over your head. Just because you have access to go to the hospital on Medicaid doesn't mean that you have food on the dinner table. Just because you have access to the hospital through Medicaid doesn't mean that you have money to pay for your hobbies, your interests, to travel for fun if you want to explore life, to buy your children Christmas presents, to maybe try to cook that one new meal that you saw on your TikTok feed that maybe looks good, to go out to dinner for an anniversary with your wife or husband, to buy clothes. All right, to get the required textbooks for a college course, or to pay for college at all, for the down payment on a house, for a car, gas in that car, the registration fees on that car. All right, that's why there's still an incentive to work, just because you can go to a hospital for free.
Mm. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying and how you tried to tie those three words from the police force over to Medicaid healthcare. I don't see those as equivalent. I don't. That's the only thing I can say. Now, here's the point. If Trump runs again, I'll vote for anybody but Trump. I'll be honest with you.
They're very equivalent, man. Because think about it this way, okay? You develop a health issue that makes you lose function in your right arm. And right? Yeah. And then you need to go to a hospital to get that fixed. Okay. Well, the hospital is going to make you happier, healthier, and freer, right? The same way, apparently, laws and the enforcement of said laws by law enforcement agencies, prevent people from walking up to you and breaking your arm, making you lose function in it, or shooting you in your arm, making you lose function in it to keep you happier, healthier, and freer. Okay. Having a safe society with law and order, to prevent unjust infringements on your personal liberties, freedoms, or life, are also very similar, right, to the infringements on people's personal liberties, freedoms, life, health, and safety, right, that they can experience through natural health complications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you give that one example.
You could become immobilized via violent crime, just like you could become immobilized via a chronic health disability that could have been prevented if you were able to go talk to a physician about it 3.5 years ago. Oh, and by the way, once they actually develop that chronic health ailment that is now preventing them from working, all of a sudden they qualify under the Social Security handbook, and now they get Medicaid. Okay, right? So you're basically saying that we should still give people free healthcare if you support Medicaid for disabled Americans, but they just actually have to be disabled first, right? And you do not support extending free healthcare to prevent that disability from ever developing in the first place through Medicaid.
No, that's wrong. They should already have a job because they're able-bodied. Then the disability happens and they can go and have the Medicaid because they have a job. See, Dean, that point was not correct.
But a matter of fact, 10 million people just lost.
Your assumption is that they're not working.
My assumption,
and then they get disabled.
My assumption is reality. 10 million people are losing access to Medicaid over the course of the next 10 years because the work requirement through the Big Beautiful Bill.
But why? They have to show that they're working.
I know.
Right?
We've been talking about the work requirement this whole time, my friend.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Get a job, then something happens to you, you can go to the hospital.
Right. So you're basically saying, even though, right, if you don't have a job and you develop this ailment, right, by not allowing you, right, to access like healthcare, right, we are limiting your happiness, your health, and your freedom. Right. Well, then couldn't we just say here, even though you think the function of law enforcement agencies is to protect law and order and thereby protecting civility, happy, health, and freedom for the citizens of this country? Well, we could say that it should still have a work requirement on it in order to call the cops first. But if you have a violent crime happen to you when you're unemployed, sucks to sucks, go get a job.
Yeah, you dug down past legal and illegal. So I don't think healthcare and law enforcement preventing illegal things from happening
went through this.
Is one and the same. I'm sorry.
We already went through this. It is one and the same. We already went through this.
Not.
I asked you, why do you think the state has an obligation to stop illegal things from happening, even to individuals that don't have a job? And you said it's to protect law and order. Then I was like, well, why do you want to protect law and order? And then you're like, well, to protect the happiness, the health, the healthiness, and the freedom of citizens of this country. So ultimately, the reason why you think anybody and everybody should have the right to call the cops, regardless of their employment, is to protect the happiness, the health, and the freedom of American citizens. Healthcare does that too. So it is one and the same, right?
So
we're just saying
right.
that the
so
state has an
being sold a
obligation
car.
to prevent illegal things from happening to their citizens. The same way, in my mind, the state has an obligation to prevent unnecessary health ailments from happening to their citizens by allowing them access to proactive healthcare needs, right, through Medicaid if they can't afford it themselves.
Okay, so what makes me happier, healthier, and more free is if I had a new BMW. So I think everybody should have a new BMW, Dean. It's subjective. Yours is subjective.
So now if you want to argue that states
legal and illegal
so now you're arguing, right, that states don't have an obligation to protect the happiness, the health, and the security / freedom of their citizens. So then why does the state have an obligation to respond to things that happen that are illegal? Because remember, you're the one that said a state has the obligation to do things, right, to protect the happiness, health, and safety of their citizens. So, arguing, well, it would make me happier, healthier, and safer if I had a BMW, right? You're arguing against your own position, right? And obviously, like the counter argument there is a BMW doesn't make you healthier, right? There's other means of like transportation that are less costly than a BMW.
You can say that because if someone's walking,
seemingly, right, a car is not going to be a necessity. But like I said, you are arguing against your own position here.
No, I'm not, because if
you are the one that said a state has an obligation to do things for their citizens that make them happier, healthier, and safer. Are you not?
Yeah, you brought it up.
No, you did. That. You brought it up. No, I asked you the question, why does the state have an obligation to respond to things that happen that are illegal? And then you're the one that said it's because it helps the citizens become happier, healthier, and safer.
Safer, yeah.
Does healthcare keep people safe?
Yes, sir.
Boom. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess there's just a disagreement there. You can't get me to agree on everything. I still won't support Trump, but I think in this area, what Democrats, liberals, whatever, people on the left have to realize is you can only pay so much. And people like Elon Musk do good. They do good with their billions and billions of dollars. They create other companies. They give people good jobs, engineers, etc.
Listen, back to the taxes. Okay, listen. Personally, my position isn't tax rich people just to tax rich people. My position, right, is implement a taxation system that is fair, just, and pragmatic to fund what a society needs what a society needs. Okay, right? So ultimately, when I'm telling you that I want to increase taxes on rich people, it's because I think that our government needs more revenue to like cover the bases for essential social programs, right? But like in all reality, there is other ways. There is other ways, right? If we want to fund, right, Medicaid, Medicare, or fund universal health care for all citizens, the most obvious answer, right, is to say, well, let's increase the tax burden on the wealthiest among us. That's going to be what is most fair in respect to the contrary, which would be increasing taxes on low and middle income Americans. But the second option is like, let's just cut the military budget in half. Right, all of a sudden, everyone wins, right? We have universal health care. We have a way to fund it. We're not increasing our debt, right? And we're not increasing taxes on rich people, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I agree there.
Right, now go get Republicans to agree on that. I'm going to move on to the next guest. You have a good one, Coach Maddie. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box right now. We got JDaddy420 loading up in. Okay, all right. We have a couple people to thank here. I really appreciate everyone so much for all the love. Let's see. Soul, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. Who says it's a deep state trying to silence us? Yes, the deep state is trying to silence us. Preach, Soul. Yeah, we got banned for misinfo for a week, but then the appeal got approved because everything that I say here is factual. Quite frankly, everything I say is true. Okay. Right, get real, buddy. Get real. Aaron, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. He says, here's $20 to Chef Boyer Dean for cooking with a billionaire bootlicking coach. Appreciate you so much for that love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then also, like something else I want to bring up here, right, is I think, right, there comes a point. Oh, this guy's a kid. I think there comes a point, right, where in not doing something to help others, you're actually doing something immoral, right? There comes a point where if helping others, right, can generate so much good at low cost to you and it is easily attainable, then you are doing something wrong, all right? And I think that's something that a lot of billionaires do. They can help so many others and generate insane amounts of good to a very low cost to themselves, right? A cost of money that will not materially impact and or change the quality of their life in the slightest, right? So I think billionaires not using some of their money to generate good in society is actually something bad. It's an immoral lack of action. And obviously, right, no, it doesn't matter how many times I scream that in their faces, they're not going to change, right? So thereby, if we have a government system to take some of that money from them on the basis of taxation and then redistribute that wealth, right, to systems of benefit to generate that good, right, I'd say that's very fair. That is very fair, right? And that's just another reason why it's obviously not just a fair but good thing, right, to tax you more the more money that you make. What's up, Peter Pan? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm a good supporter, I'd say.
Okay, and how old are you?
21.
21, and what year were you born in?
Huh?
What year are you born in?
Fuck you, you fucking faggot!
Okay. Ah! It's not a year, Peter Pan. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got J Daddy loading up. Martin, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Martin says, Dean, please read and take note for the future. Home Depot and many other employers do not provide health care for even full-time employees. I'm going to have to read into that. Thank you so much. I'll read the rest of your message to myself. Thank you, Martin, for letting me know. As well as Jalen, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. And Vesna, thank you so much for the $50 on PayPal. Holy shit, Vesna. I want to see 500 Vesna W's now below in that comment section. Vesna with a 50 big one says it doesn't incentivize employment. They will just go uninsured. Hospitals will raise rates to recoup losses, and our rates will go up. The insured risk pooling, you have to explain how it will affect their pockets because they don't care about people's health or safety. Well, yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, I need to be able to come at this topic with multiple arguments, right? not just, well, it helps people, because they don't care about that. Thank you so much for the $50, Vesna. It's good to see you again. You are always hanging out with us. Huge shout out to Vesna down below, as well as Maya, Matthew, and Lance. Appreciate you guys for the $5 and the $2 over on Venmo. If you are watching and you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok as well. It's actually at the top of the phone screen right now. And you could also find it in the pinned message of the YouTube stream. We have around another 15 minutes here before I get off and go enjoy my night, grab some dinner with the girlfriend, and celebrate Halloween. So happy Halloween, everybody. Let's go ahead and get that very last Trump supporter up of the night. We're going to get them loaded in right now. JDaddy420, I sent you an invite to unmute. Do you support Trump?
No, I was trying to say in the comments that I had a point against the last guy. I don't want to waste your time. My quick point was that my dad is literally complaining right now about healthcare being raised for workers, anyways, like the price of it, because he's a federal worker. That's the whole reason for the shutdown right now, by my understanding, is Trump wants to raise prices on even like just healthcare in general, right? Like, I'm not gonna act like an expert right now. I'm a little nervous, but that's essentially my point. Like, even if you're working, it's gonna be more expensive. Like,
no, good point. You're right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I mean, I think that's something very similar to what Vesna was saying. What's up, MAGA Ken? Do you support Trump?
Hey, dude.
Hey. 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 This is MAGA Joe.
No, this is Ken. I'm just here to talk about those B-rolls.
Are you sure this isn't MAGA Joe? MAGA Joe Swanson?
Yeah, it's MAGA Joe.
It's MAGA Joe.
I love you, dude.
How you been?
I love you, dude.
Love you too, MAGA Joe. Love you too. Moving on to the next guest. All right, let's gotta get that next guest Ribby loaded up in the box. Marin, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, who says people without Medicaid or insurance still seek healthcare. Who pays for that when they can't? That's why rural hospitals will close. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the $20, Marin. And Evan, thank you so much for the 14 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you guys for the love. Y'all are awesome. Moving on to the next and hopefully last Trump supporter of the evening here, Gabrielle. Also, Michelle, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. You're awesome, Michelle. Huge shout out to you. Hey. Hey, by the way, how are you guys liking this like on the go streaming setup? Personally, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's fucking sick. I can't lie. I think it's awesome. What do you guys think? Hopefully you didn't just see what I did on camera. I don't know if you did or not. Hopefully you didn't. You guys like it? I like it too. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in the box. We got Jay loading in. It looks good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty proud of it indeed. What is up? Do you support Trump?
No. I was just curious on like all the things about the whole EB.
I'm sorry, Jay. I do have to kick you, just because we only have 12 minutes before I got to get off for the night, and I wanted to try to get one more debate in here. Somebody in the chat just said it's way better than Parker's setup when he was in New York. Well, yeah. Well, I've been talking to Parker about this. When I saw a setup in New York, I was like, like I wonder what I could do to like be able to travel and still have a really high quality setup. And I think I figured it out. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
You do? How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, and why the hell do you support the worst president of your 18 years of life that's declaring war in American cities and refusing to fund food stamp benefits for 41 million American citizens and is now having courts order him to do so? Literally, we have courts ordering that the president cares about his own citizens. How the hell could you ever support that guy?
You can remove me if you want, but actually I had a question for you. It really wasn't about what you want to debate about.
I'll talk to you about whatever you want, as long as it's on the subject of why you support Trump as president.
It's literally just, is there anything you support about Trump, like at all?
Is there anything that he's ever done that's good?
Like, is there anything you support that he's currently doing in his policies that you are like, oh yeah, that's solid, like anything at all?
Illegally extending the TikTok ban.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, I like TikTok. TikTok good.
That's it?
Yeah, TikTok good.
Alright, well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's nice meeting you.
We're gonna get that next Trump supporter loaded up in here. We got Ben loading in. No, totally illegal. He actually has no authority to do that, but TikTok good, okay? We love TikTok. What's up? Do you support Trump? Me like TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok. All right, how old are you?
I'm 19.
All right, what time is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what time is it?
It's about midnight right now.
Unfortunately, we're only looking to talk to people from America. You take care now. We got to check that PayPal. We got a couple new donations. Rachel, thank you so much for the $5 saying love from the UK. that other guest from the UK does not speak for all of us has to be said. Well, yeah, I believe you, Rachel. She was pretty nuts. Thank you for the $5. As well as Lindsay, thank you so much for the $12 on PayPal. Saying donation, winging from the UK. Me and my daughter watch every stream. She joined the debate club thanks to you. Oh, guys, that is awesome. Thank you for telling me that, Lindsay. Shout out to you and your daughter, and thank you for the $12. What's up, Jack? Do you support Trump?
I do.
And how old are you, buddy?
I am 19, September 21st, 2006.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked the last guest. Why the hell do you support the worst president of your life?
Well, I support him in many issues, but the first one I go to is immigration.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big immigration person, and I think I'm just going to tell you my point before you can say whatever you would have to say. I would say that I don't want people that I'm not sure who they are in my country. I know I'm not going to know every person. I know that, but I want to make sure I can trust that the people in my country have the right intentions for the country.
Okay.
If you kind of get where I'm getting at.
So somebody shouldn't be in the country if they don't have the right intentions for America, but somebody should serve as president even if they don't have the right intention to be able to look out for the health, safety, or well-being of 41 million Americans that he's currently illegally refusing to allow emergency funding to continue to pay for SNAP benefits, and then blaming it on the Democrats.
Yeah, so about that, yeah. I understand that he did do that. I don't completely agree with him there.
Right, and then another thing, Donald Trump has boasted about sexually exploiting little girls. If Donald Trump doesn't have the right intentions to care about the well-being of little girls, then Donald Trump definitely doesn't have the right intentions to care about the well-being of the country as a whole.
I get that for sure. But, do you think people can change? Is that possible for you to think?
I think that people can change from a lot of things. I don't think that people can change from rape or sexual exploitation because I believe in order to rape or to sexually exploit, you fundamentally lack necessary moral virtues to care about other individuals that I don't think that you can learn. Right? I think that you can't learn to create them at all. You could learn to develop them. You could learn to grow off of them, but you can't learn to create them. Right? Not to mention that even if you could change from something like that, which is just a dystopian suggestion, Donald Trump definitely hasn't. I mean, shit, he was sued and found guilty of rape 2 years ago and then said his victims should be thrown in jail.
Okay, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I kind of want to go back to the immigration thing for a second here, because that was kind of my main topic. So do you think that, in the Biden administration, people are getting over that were, let's say, illegal aliens, that we don't know who they are. They have no right to be here, as you should say, because some people are doing the right thing. I have an uncle who's Mexican. He came in the right way, did the right things to become a citizen. He's a great guy. Love him. So I have a different point of view because I know someone that's a legal immigrant and he had to wait many years to get into this country. While other people that we don't even know are in the country, we don't know any intentions about them. They didn't have to sign up for anything like that.
Where do you find ET?
Sorry?
Where do you find ET? Where can I see ET? You're talking about like illegal aliens. Where can I see ET?
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you talking about people like you, like me? Are you calling like people aliens?
I am.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not. It's not. I'm not.
Don't you think that's like pretty like fucking dehumanizing? Wouldn't you say? Actually, do you think maybe the reason why you call people aliens, the reason why Donald Trump calls people aliens, is to get people to care less about them by dehumanizing them? Therefore, when Donald Trump infringes on their both human and constitutional rights, therefore, when Donald Trump orders like plainclothes ICE agents to rip naked children out of their homes and to throw them in the backs of U-Haul vans, you just care a little bit less because they're not people, they're aliens?
I don't view them as not non-people.
The definition of alien is belonging to a foreign country or nation.
That is true. Alien is say that again for me.
The definition of alien is belonging to a foreign country or nation.
Yeah, and you ask you ask a white supremacist how they define the N-word, and they'll say a black person. Okay, right? The point, right, isn't that you're not defining this word to be something. The point is that this word is dehumanizing and harmful.
Oh, well, I think that's. I feel like you're stepping that a little bit because okay, I get what you're saying about their rights. I understand that. They have rights as humans, but they don't have the right to come to this country illegally.
Okay,
They're
so
not
you're
doing
saying,
it
so you're saying that you call them
illegal way and
aliens.
illegal way.
So you call them aliens because they broke federal law and committed a misdemeanor, but then when somebody breaks 34 laws, commits 34 felonies, and is adjudicated to have raped a woman, you call them president. Okay? Drop the fucking act. Okay, you're not calling them aliens because they broke the law, or else you wouldn't support Donald Trump calling the 72 people that smeared their own shit on the walls of the Capitol and then tried to kill cops patriots.
Whoa, did you not see Nancy Pelosi took the blame for that? There's many videos of that. It's not, I get it, someone's Trump, I get
Nancy,
it.
Wait, I'm so sorry. This is like the stupidest like talking point MAGA has ever created. Even if Nancy Pelosi took the blame for the people trying to kill the cops and smearing their shit on the walls, we could all agree with common sense that she's wrong, okay? She is not responsible for the actions of individuals that detest her and acted on their own accord, right? So even if she did say that, the very obvious answer is that Nancy Pelosi is wrong, okay? But she didn't say that. Right, and Nancy Pelosi being wrong doesn't justify Donald Trump calling them patriots. What?
No, I don't think they're patriots at all. I don't think that was right. And I disagree with them. I disagree with what the Republicans handled that. I do disagree. I see your point of view, and I do disagree with how the Republicans handled that. But that being said, I get where you're coming from. But that being said, he wasn't like, yeah, let's go raid the Capitol. It was a different type of standpoint.
Yeah, I told him to fight like hell. Okay, then when they did, he called them patriots and let them out of jail. So
fight like hell. I mean, that
come on, dude. This one's easy.
Fight like hell.
This is an open book test. Trump says fight like hell. Trump says win your country back. Trump says the election was stolen from him. Trump says they're officiating and concluding the stolen fake results of the election in that building right over there right now, right? Then they go to that building, they raid it, they smear their shit on the walls, okay? They try to kill cops like Officer Fanone. Then they get sentenced, they get prosecuted, they get thrown in jail. Then Donald Trump calls them patriots and lets them out of jail. Donald Trump didn't condemn what they did. He supported it. He wanted them to.
Fight like hell. I don't know why you're saying that's what he meant. Like, yeah, fight like hell, that means go raid the Capitol. Maybe it's fighting for our freedom and fighting for the Republican side and maybe the next election.
If that's not what he meant, then he wouldn't have let them out of jail.
Okay. That's
Yeah, no, come on. That one's easy. This one is very easy.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. I see different point of views. I still disagree with you on me calling them dehumanizing traits. It's just a trait for someone who's entered the country illegally. They don't belong here.
It's necessarily dehumanizing to call a person like an alien. It's necessarily dehumanizing to call a person illegal. Listen, I think we dehumanize them enough. Let's just call them undocumented immigrants.
Okay, that's fair. If you want to call them that, I think that's fair.
Thank you.
Yep. You have a great day.
Or is the conversation over?
Oh, I thought you wanted it to be over.
We got 2 more minutes here. Do you think that Donald Trump is dehumanizing them when he tries to take their constitutional rights away and infringes on them as well by deporting some of them without due process?
Well, I would, if he did that, yes, but you can't find any reports that he took out people that are documented Americans out of the country. There's just no reports that. There's reports, but there's no confirmation of that happening.
Oh, what? No, Mahmoud Khalil, he was detained in an ICE detention center for 3 months, and he's a legal green card holder. We also know that citizen children have been deported. We also know that he's tried to take their citizenship away by arguing through Executive Order number 14160 that they don't have a right to birthright citizenship, even though that right's been guaranteed to them by the Constitution since 1868 with the ratification of the 14th. We know that he's been illegally deporting people. Abrego Garcia SCOTUS issued that ruling on April 10th this year.
Okay, well, that's okay. I see that, but so the kids, right? If their parents were there, let's just say they came illegally. Does you want him to leave just the kids there, or would you? I mean, it makes sense to bring them with their parents. Would that not
make sense to not deport them at all?
The illegal parents not deport them?
Yeah.
Whoa, that doesn't make any sense.
Why? It's what's best for this
They're
country.
here illegally.
Yeah, and giving them a pathway to residency or citizenship so they could continue to pay $100 billion per year in taxes. Give them a pathway to residency or citizenship so they can continue to contribute $1.1 through $1.7 trillion to the GDP per year. Give them a pathway to residency or citizenship so they can continue to account for 8.4 million of our laborers, continue to account for 11 million of our consumers, and continue to help build the moral fabric of this nation by being 2.5 times less likely to commit a violent crime on American soil compared to the average U.S. citizen.
Well, okay, but there's ways to get into this country legally.
Right, and those ways are unattainable because they take 10 to 15 years, and Congress has designed them to take so long, insofar as inciting more undocumented entry, so then the GOP could run on fixing it every 2 and 4 years and do nothing that is beneficial to resolving the issue in the long term. That's by design. I think like high levels of undocumented entry that we've seen into America in modern American history is by design.
Okay, but I mean, my uncle, like I said, he took his time, him and his family. He has kids. They're the same age as me. He married my dad's sister. Okay, he's a great guy. I get that. I bet not everyone that's illegal.
Oh, yeah. So because he could do it, so can everyone. So because I can go on live for 4 hours every single day and debate people that politically disagree with me, can everybody else?
Yeah. I mean, you could if you wanted. I mean, they're not gonna have as big as an audience as you. I understand that. But they're not.
All right. I don't think that most people could, because I can barely do it myself. Okay, talking to people that I find to be like so insufferable and dense for 4 hours a day is very draining. Okay, very, very draining.
Well, yeah, I would understand that, yes, but I think people can do it. I don't think it's impossible. I think there's others like you, others that are on the Republican.
But matter of fact, back to immigration. Matter of fact, we know when we make the legal means of entry into this country unattainable and take so long and be so expensive that not as many people will do it. We know we make them more attainable and less expensive that more people will do it, and undocumented entry will be disincentivized. We know that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, but if you let's just say you let everyone that wants to come every single time. Everyone that wants to come every single.
Pretty insane non-violent criminal offenses, pretty insane outstanding warrants from other countries, gang affiliations, mob ties, as Kendrick put it, or something or the other. But in all reality, that only applies to about 0.001% of individuals that want to come into this country. 99.999% of individuals that want to come into this country are here to create a better life for themselves, their family, their children, and to make the country better as a whole. One person who does not have the better interests of the country in mind, one person that is guilty of a violent offense of rape, one person that has committed pretty insane non-violent criminal offenses like infringing of the 1st, 2nd, 10th, 14th, and 22nd Amendment would be President Trump. So I'm not really all too sure that you care who people are if you don't care who Donald Trump is.
Okay, just one more quick point before I know you have to go. I heard you say that. Okay, so you don't think the border should just be completely open? Is that what you're saying? You would agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think that we should have an open border. I think that we should have as many legal means of entry as possible with a process that is as fast as possible.
Okay, I think we can both agree on that. I agree. I just don't want illegal people that we're not, because not every time we're going to know who they are.
Well, we could learn who they are significantly faster if we offer them mass amnesty and then do a vetting process through amnesty, because that is a process that they'd be significantly more likely and willing to cooperate with, since it would benefit them compared to the uncooperativeness that is expected by throwing mass deportation at their face, because that serves as a detriment to them.
Okay, yeah. I think we should make it a faster process. I don't think it should be 10 to 15 years. I agree with you on that. I think it should be... I do think like we should collect more information about the people, make sure that they're actually not, some people are smuggling drugs and
that's the vetting process that we would include in mass amnesty.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I just don't want. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying here. I'm not sure what you're thinking.
Well, I mean, if you agree with mass amnesty, then you could disagree with Donald Trump's immigration policy, considering the fact that it is as contrary to mass amnesty as it could get.
No, Okay, I agree with him. Okay, I agree with him. I know you have to go. Sorry, but I agree with him trying to make sure it's as We know who everyone is, but I also agree that we can make it a lot as fast as possible. I agree with you on that. 10 to 15 years is way too long. I understand that.
Happy we could agree. I'm kicking you. Sorry, man. I want to thank a couple people, then I do have to hop off here. Eric, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Eric. That is ERAK. Show some love to Eric down below. I really appreciate you guys so much for all the love today. Eric with the $25 says, how long do you think it'll be before Donald Trump takes credit for stopping a war between the U.S. and Venezuela? You mean the one that he's starting right fucking now? Oh, not too long. Not too long. Don't worry, Eric. It's coming soon. Thank you so much for the $25 in Venmo. Show some love to Eric, as well as Baby with the $5 who says, TikTok good. Yes! TikTok good. LFG. As well as Katie. Thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Let's fucking go, Katie. That is insane. Katie with $100 says, I appreciate what you're doing. You give me hope not only for cis straight men, but for humans. You and Parker are brilliant debaters, and I hope that one day to be done with this fascist and be able to debate you about something like something else. Happy Halloween from Katie. Happy Halloween, Katie! Thank you so much for the $100 and your very kind and true words. Thank you so much, Katie. As well as Allison, thank you so much for the $21 over on PayPal. Allison didn't leave a message, only the love. Happy Halloween, Allison. Thank you so much. As well as Scott, thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat. Thank you, Scott, who says, I've known several undocumented migrants who fled Mexico to avoid unspeakable violence. Waiting 7 to 10 years wasn't an option. Exactly, Scott. Fucking exactly. Thank you so very much for the $20. You are awesome, my man. As well as, let's see who else here. Camp, thank you so much for the $20 as well in Super Chat, who says, if you ask any of these people who say, quote unquote, immigration is my top issue, they will never be able to relay a real story about how immigration has specifically negatively impacted them. Oh yeah, I won't be able to do it. Thank you so much, Camp. As well as Evan, thank you for the 14 Canadian dollars. Okay, folks, we only were live for 2.5 hours today, but it is time for me to go and hang out with some friends, grab a dinner, get some drinks, and have a very happy Halloween. For everybody else joining us on TikTok and YouTube, first and foremost, if you're in Boulder and you see me, feel free to say hi, okay? I probably chatted and met with like 30 or 40 people last night at this house party I went to, and you guys are so cool. Every single person that walked up to me was so kind. Every single person that walked up to me was just like so cool too. You know, I had so many people telling me stories, right, about how like, you know, they had like got their Republican family to start watching the streams and it changed their minds. Like, you guys are icons. I love the community that we've built here. You guys are so cool. Like, literally the coolest people ever. And regardless if you're in Boulder or not, if you're celebrating Halloween tonight, be safe, folks. Please be safe. You know, at this house party I went to last night, you know, there's drinks going around, right, that multiple people are drinking out of. You know, just watch out. Watch out for that. You don't know what could be in it. But anyways, you know, I don't know. We have a lot of people in here. I thought I'd just kind of go through the pre-qualifiers of general public safety and enjoying your night and having fun, right? Just because there's so many people in here. Might as well. Don't drunk drive. Get a DD and have fun. But anyways, folks, I'm going to head off. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Halloween, y'all. Stay safe and enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.